Devil's Advocate. I'm Ben. I'm joined by Shawn.
Hello.
And today we'll continue our pros and cons of which fictional universes are best to live in.
Yeah. Well,
it's not a definitive list, mind. You know, we haven't included every single fictional universe there is. We'd be here forever. No one's seen all the films. No one's read all the books that are in existence.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but, you know, just the most popular ones.
Our favourite ones.
Our favourite ones, a better way.
There's some popular, there's like Narnia and stuff.
Yeah, I ain't got a Narnia.
Yeah, we didn't want to cover that one. In the Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, we didn't want to cover that one either. But there's some...
That is Narnia.
Is it still Narnia?
Yeah.
The same place?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You go through the wardrobe into Narnia.
Oh, yeah.
Or in your case, you just stay in the closet.
Yeah, I'm thinking... I'm thinking Wizard of Oz, sorry. Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting one insult in.
Because you know I'm going to tear you apart.
Because I know you're going to tear me apart when we got my favourite.
We might as well rename this, not part 2, and just rename it An Excuse to Talk About Warhammer for 45 minutes.
No, because we're going to start...
And extra stuff to make it look like we're not trying to talk about Warhammer for 45 minutes.
Warhammer 40,000. Although I could go Warhammer Fantasy.
You could.
Which is also a shit universe to live in, because you've also got the undead and vampire lords and lizard men.
Okay, that's not good.
No.
How do you know we don't have armies of lizard men?
Maybe we have.
Maybe we do.
On Mars, who knows?
On Mars.
I don't know.
Send in the Space Force.
Send in the Space Marines.
Space Marines.
Okay, alright, let's start with...
let's start with a fun one.
Start with a fun one. Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
So this is like, it's...
A lot of people probably don't know this one, because this is quite an old film, isn't it? If you think about it.
Yeah, we're talking early 90s,
yeah, so,
I think. Off the top of my head. Because I'm sure I went to see this at the cinema when I was a kid.
Yeah, I've seen this a few times, but I'm guessing a lot of people of my generation haven't seen this, and the generations after probably definitely won't have seen this.
So the idea
it's a great film. It's a great film.
For one very good reason.
Which we'll get to in a minute.
It's basically a world where cartoon characters and humans live together.
Yeah.
And there doesn't seem to be too much friction between the two sides.
No, it seems pretty peaceful, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, the Toons live in Toontown, which is fair enough, because obviously they can blow each other up to their heart's content then.
Yeah, they like being a bit more wild and
exactly
beating each other up, but for comic value.
Yeah, you don't want to be walking into Toontown and get hit by a giant mallet by accident.
Yeah, so you just dropping anvils on each other and stuff for fun.
That's it, all the Acme stuff.
Yeah, for fun.
So it's, health and safety element.
Yeah. I don't think you die in Toontown though, do you? Doesn't the main character get hit by something and he's fine?
Yeah, because if whatever in Toontown, like literally,
you're like invulnerable, aren't you? It's like when you leave, that's when you can get killed.
Yeah, the laws of physics change in Toontown.
Yeah, so like if you're like a Toon and you leave and you're in our world, the real world, you can get killed, can't you? That's right, I'm sure it is.
I don't know.
Doesn't a Toon get killed outside of?
I don't know. Oh, maybe then. It's been a long time since I've seen the movie.
Yeah, it is.
I only remember the movie.
It's been a long time.
Reason.
Yeah.
But, I mean, okay, what happened to that one dude who's trying to kill all the Toons?
Yeah. He turns out to be a Toon, doesn't he?
He's a bit of a Hitler complex, isn't
he? Yeah, he does, yeah.
It took me years to realise I was the same guy from Back to the Future.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, don't know why. But because I never really liked Back to the Future, so I never went back to him.
It's a good film, man.
No.
If we can dignify that with a response.
So I'm down for the Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah,
Bob Hoskins is trotting around as a private eye. That's pretty cool. You can have a chat to your car as it drives you around. If you get a Toon car.
Is he still alive?
No, he's dead now.
Oh, that's a shame. He's a good actor. He is.
He was a very good actor. Yeah. He was possibly struggled a little bit in later years.
Yeah.
80s. Well, he was like he was a massive British actor. I think he did stuff on the stage too.
Yeah.
I can't quote that. I mean, Anne used to love him, so he must be fairly...
Well, he was clocking on a little bit in that film, wasn't he? Was he like...
Nah, that was like... What he must have been, but I suppose the last film I saw...
He had to be about 50, I think, in that film.
Yeah, 50, 60.
Yeah.
50, I'd say, in his 50s.
Yeah.
The last film I saw him in was Outlaw.
Oh, okay.
You ever seen that?
I've heard of it.
But Sean Bean, Danny Dyer, who I hate, but he's a bit of a pussy in this, so I don't mind it so much.
Yeah. He's a bit of a pussy anyway. I don't know why he's labelled a hard man.
No, me. Sean Bean comes back from Iraq.
Yeah.
And there's nonces in the streets and gangs of Chaz terrorising people.
Yeah.
And basically just everyone's a twat, and he's like, well, what the fucking hell was I in Iraq for?
Yeah.
Meets up with some like-minded people who are civvies, and he kind of trains them a bit, and they manage to get some guns. Bob Hoskin is like this. He's ex-army.
Okay.
And he was a dude who was like skilled in electronic surveillance.
Oh, okay.
So he basically does all the CCTV evidence. That's his job.
Yeah.
He lets them know where the bad guys are.
Oh, okay, so he's
Goes
like,
and dips into the police records.
he's like Alfred then.
A little bit, and then he just sort of erases them
Oh, okay.
from the CCTV.
So there's sort of video
no trace,
proof,
yeah,
no
basically,
trace.
yeah. Because he's fed up with how things are. He thinks he should have been a detective.
When did that come out?
Ooh, early 2000s.
No, I don't
It's
think
not
I've-
a bad movie.
I
I
don't
mean,
think I've seen it.
it's okay. It's
I'm
alright.
guessing he died shortly after that then, because I've not
Yeah,
seen,
I think that must have been one of his last movies.
Yeah.
I lit my phone on hand with the IMDb gospel. I don't know.
I've not seen him in anything in a long time.
No.
Long time.
Oh, he's definitely dead. He
He's a
died
good-
years ago.
He's a good actor though, and I think because he is kind of like a tough kind of guy, isn't he? He's in that film. He's very sort
I
of.
can imagine him as a PI.
Yeah. He plays it very impressively,
Yeah.
and it's kind of a good contrast that it's him, all serious and gruff, and he hates tunes, and he's this
Yeah.
detective. But he lives right next to this like super wacky tune town.
That's it.
And
And his
then
wasn't his partner a tune or
Yeah, I
something?
think he was, and that's why he hates tunes.
He'd never get close to one again.
Yeah, but then he meets Roger, and Roger's like the complete opposite. He's really wacky, he loves
Yeah.
life, he's really fun, and they end up kind of being forced together, don't they?
That's it.
And it's great. It works. It works really well.
Yeah.
Even though he hates him initially, he kind of like
Grows to love him.
grows to love
It's
him.
a feel-good story.
Yeah,
And
it's
Jessica.
fun. Yeah, I know you were dying to talk about her.
Let's not forget Jessica Rabbit.
How did
Yes.
Roger pull her? Is it because he's super rich?
Super rich and funny.
He's like one of the
probably, yeah.
richest tunes in all
Isn't he like
Toontown.
the biggest star?
I think so,
basically,
yeah.
he made it in human world.
Yeah, I
big
think so.
time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well, it's Jessica, isn't it? I
'Cause
mean,
she's
Oh.
like out of his league. He's a
Oh.
rabbit. He's a rabbit.
if she came into my private eye's office and was like crossing and uncrossing her legs and like, oh, we need to, I think my husband's being framed. I need you to help me. I'll do anything, eh? Okay. Well, first of all, take the dress off.
You're a big fan of
Jessica.
Jessica,
Oh.
aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd live in this universe
Yeah.
just for her.
And then find like a professional artist and be like, draw me like an equivalent of Jessica.
Yeah, draw me another Jessica. Draw me
Yeah.
her twin.
Yeah.
Her slightly kinkier twin, perhaps.
Slightly kinky.
Give her a black dress.
Not like the red dress.
The red dress, nothing wrong with the red dress. Just give her a slightly kinkier look.
I'd live there, but for less pervy reasons. I think I'd just like to go to Toontown and just get to meet all of the cartoon characters. But like living, like actually really living your childhood, isn't it? Like meeting the Bugs Bunny equivalent.
Which I assume is Roger.
Yeah, it would be Roger, wouldn't it? So
Yeah.
I'd enjoy that. And the not dying sort of thing. You
Not
just
dying, so
go there, do crazy shit, and then leave when you're done. It'd be awesome.
I wonder if when you cross back, you'd be like, oh, fuck me, my back hurts.
Yeah,
Like, you
you
got
would
run
be.
over by a steamroller.
Yeah, so you'd be a little bit sore. But not wrecked, not
Yeah.
dead, because it's a cartoon. You'd be like, yeah, I'm not doing any football or anything for a couple of weeks. I can't walk properly.
But no, I'd live there.
Yeah, I'd live there as well.
Just
I'd
for
actually live
Jessica.
there. Yeah, I know. Well, you'd live there. Try and steal Roger Rabbit's wife.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think we're both in a consensus with that one. We'd
Yeah.
live there for different reasons. Mine are a little bit more
Not
innocent.
saying that the Acme rockets couldn't be fun.
They would be fun. Mine are my reasons are a little bit more innocent. Then again, I mean, I'd be basically cartoon terrorism because I'd just be blowing stuff up for fun.
But no one would care.
No one cares. Yeah.
There's no fatalities.
Yeah.
It's cool.
It's just a game.
I've heard it.
What?
Send Al Qaeda to Toontown.
To
They can do what
Toontown.
they want then.
Like blow up as much stuff
Yeah.
as you want.
And the Toons ain't going to submit to Sharia law, are
No,
they?
it's gonna be
and
fun.
then eventually just wear the terrorist stone
And make them friendly.
and make him like, oh, Roger, look at him prancing around. Ha 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 ha. And then, oh my God, he's laughing. You know, and next thing you know, it's like everyone's laughing, and all of a sudden, I've just solved world terrorism.
Made friends.
Everyone's just gone, you
With
know
the
what,
Toons.
fuck it, I'd rather have the gift of laughter.
That could solve it.
Yeah,
Make friends. It can remind them of their childhood.
that's it, if they had one.
Yeah.
Half when the Americans came into their village with their Black Hawk helicopters.
Blew up their villages.
Yeah, when the gunfire finally stopped, they were the only ones left. Hiding in the basement.
That's dark.
Yeah.
I thought we were meant to do a fun one. I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
Toontown was meant to be fun.
Oh yeah, well, okay, well,
I get what you're
I'm there.
saying. Terrorism probably would be significantly dropped if you drop them all off in Toontown.
That's it.
It's hard to be angry in Toontown. It just looks like fun. So I get that.
that's it.
Move on to the next one.
The Hunger Games.
Hunger
Hunger
Games
Games universe.
You went a little dark now. A little dark.
It's got to get darker, yeah.
Yeah, you've read the first book, haven't you?
I've read the first
and
book.
I've watched all the films.
And I didn't make it through the first movie. I bought it because I really enjoyed the book. I had it as my toilet book for a while.
Your toilet book?
Yeah.
Oh, it must have been good then.
Yes. I read it over the course of a few weeks. 1 week.
Oh, man.
3 days.
3 days. It was light reading.
It was, but it was quite entertaining, and I thought, you know what? I've heard these movies are good. It's not something that I've ever looked at or been interested in because I'm old now and new franchises I immediately dismiss.
Yeah, you're afraid of them.
I'm afraid of them because they might upset my own finely balanced equilibrium with the franchises I like.
You're like I'm getting old now. All of my sort of thought processes are locked in now.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, this is it.
This is the stuff I like, and I want more of that.
Yeah, I don't like new
something
stuff.
Slightly different, but still recognisable enough for me to realise that this is the same thing, just a spin-off. I can deal with a spin-off.
You're becoming the thing you hate. You're becoming a boomer.
Ew, I'm born in the wrong decade for that, so it's all right.
Yeah, but you're becoming what you hate. You see, that's the thing. You either die being who you want to be, or you live long enough to become the thing you don't want to be. Becoming a boomer.
The important thing is I'm not watching Mrs. Brown's Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Is that on TV?
Yes.
I think I've heard of it, but I'm not sure what it is. I'm guessing it's terrible.
It's comedy for people who clap when the plane lands.
Okay, my dad does that.
Really?
Yeah, he claps when it lands.
Way.
Yeah, he does. And every time I'm like, Dad, you're embarrassing me. Don't do that. And he'll clap more.
Your dad doesn't give a fuck about anything.
No, he doesn't.
Maybe
He doesn't.
when you go down there tonight, ask him if he watches Mrs. Brown's Boys.
I would imagine he probably has. I would imagine he probably has. If he's clapping for the plane landing.
Yes. Anyway, so Hunger Games. I was watching the movie. I was like, oh, this is okay.
You're like, I can't relate to this. They're all like 15 and 14.
No.
I can't even remember that far back. It says sort of drunk fueled haze.
You know what? I don't think I can.
No, a drunk fueled haze.
I spent a lot of time drunk.
Yeah, you're like, I can't remember that, so I can't relate.
I think I'm probably an alcoholic.
You're like, dark time for a revelation, right?
Anyway, the Hunger Games.
Moving on.
The Hunger Games. Yeah, so I mean, I'm familiar with it. There's so many districts, and District 1 is the capital.
Yeah, I
and that's where
can't
all the
remember
rich
how many
people
districts there are. It's like 9 or 10 or something.
12, I think,
12,
they're from.
yeah.
Or was it 13 and one got wiped
Yeah,
out?
13, I think, one got wiped. It's
That's
like
it.
12 now.
Yeah.
It's almost like one, like you were saying, one's where the rich people live, and there, it's almost like how our world's becoming now. The rich are completely in control, they're in control of the government, the people, whatever they say. We're just there for the poor, and they're not so rich. They're just there for the rich's entertainment, essentially. That's why they created the Hunger Games.
Yeah, I think basically, like the capital city, sector 1, is just like one booze-fueled piss-up and parade.
Yeah, it's like a utopia.
I mean, there's no work done there.
There is a little bit.
All the other districts
Work for them,
don't they?
There is a little bit, like they do all the fun jobs. There's the one that designs the dresses and the suits.
Yeah.
So they do all the fun jobs. And there's another one that does the makeup for the people on the games and stuff and gets them ready.
Oh, so you think like District 12 for your, because that's where the heroine's from, isn't it? District 12.
I think if you win,
and that's the coal mining.
I think if you win, you can move to District 1 as well.
Maybe.
Because I think the drunk guy.
Well, you get a house there. Certainly.
Yeah, the drunk guy lives in District 1, but all he does is drink all the time because he feels guilty for killing all of his friends and everyone that was in the Hunger Games.
So that's the point. So anyway, life is a bit shit if you're not living in District 1 anyway.
Yeah, the further away
it's
you are.
It's hard labour.
Yeah.
I mean, District 12 is the coal mining district, so you can imagine that they lose a lot of people to accidents and have a really hard, back-breaking job.
The further away you are, the kind of crappier it is to live, isn't it? So District 12 is like the worst one.
Yeah,
well, it was 13, but then they had the uprising, so they killed them all, didn't they?
Yeah.
So 12 is like shit.
Yeah.
You're starving every day.
Yeah,
food is scarce.
That's why the heroine is so good at the bow and arrows, because she supplements her family's meagre rations with rabbits.
Hunting, yeah.
Hunting, yeah.
That's why she's great with the bow. Yeah, it's not good, is it? If you're not in District 1 or maybe 2 or 3, your life's complete garbage. And even 2 or 3, your kind of best bet is like you get to be like a guard for number 1.
Yeah.
You get to be like a bodyguard.
Yeah, that's it. So it's a bit of a shit place to live, and I don't want to live there.
No, I don't think anyone would want to live there.
I mean,
the only way you're going to want to...
And there's a chance that you can get sent off into the Hunger Games
and get killed
with virtually no training.
Yeah, like
I'm just there to be killed for entertainment.
yeah. District 1 gets like years of training, don't
Yeah,
they?
they have kids who like say, "I'll do it," and spend 5 years training to kill with every single fuck. It's in the book. I don't know if it's. I think it might do the same in the movies.
Yeah, there's like a training.
They
thing.
have like a training montage in a way. They're like, and
all the other districts are picked at random.
Yeah.
They're brought in. They get like 3 weeks of training with weapons. 3 or 4 weeks of training, and they just chuck them in.
That's it.
That's it. Whereas these other kids, these District 1 and I think maybe District 2, they get like years of formal training.
It. Someone's just like, well, you're going to, they might have a family history of winning the games. There's like your firstborn son or daughter, you're in.
Yeah.
I suppose there's no discrimination in this universe, though.
There is, really. The rich versus everyone else.
No, like gender equality's there.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And ethnicity as well.
Ethnicity.
They don't care. They don't care what your colour is, your gender, your race. It's just whoever can die.
Yeah, because Lenny Kravitz is in that movie and he's designing there.
Yeah, it's just rich versus poor. That's what the whole thing is rich versus poor. Even at the end of the movies, for anyone that hasn't seen them, spoiler, literally the poor rioting till they kill the rich.
Yeah.
There's like a full-on civil war, and they'd literally tear the guy apart, don't they?
I haven't seen
the president guy. When they get hold of him, they just tear him to pieces.
Nice.
So it's like proper revolution.
Yeah, it used to
stuff.
happen, didn't it?
Yeah,
Sweet.
It's proper revolution stuff, and it's just the rich versus the poor. The rich suppressing the poor.
Yeah, and then making them fight and kill each other for their own amusement.
I mean, if you're in District 1,
great life.
I'd probably live there then, but then you basically view everyone else like trash. There's very few people in District 1 that actually care about the other districts. So you'd be a shitty person, or you won the games,
and you just what you do then?
You either go back home and everyone's going to hate you because you murdered a bunch of kids as a kid. You're severely traumatized.
You're going to have some fucked up PTSD.
Yeah, a lot of them just hang about drinking, don't they? And training the new recruits in District 1. They just stay there getting drunk every year and then just train them for like 3 weeks and then watch their protege get murdered half the times.
So you can't even get close to anybody.
No.
Because you're like, hey, that guy I trained last year, he was great.
Yeah.
Shame he got took down by those poison bees.
And this is the thing, even if you're growing up in one of the crappier districts and you manage to dodge it until you're an adult and you get a crappy job and you manage to survive all that, you build up a family, your kid could get called upon.
That's it.
So you don't even want to have kids.
No.
Because you could see if you don't get murdered, your best friend's probably getting murdered.
Well, it's only 2 a year they take, isn't it?
Yeah, but the districts are small. There's only like a few hundred people per district, I think.
Oh, right. So
in the films, anyway, it looks like there's no... Because they're trying to keep them segregated.
Yeah.
Split apart. So there's like 1,000... There's like a couple of thousand people in District 1. And then there's only like a few hundred in each other one.
Ah.
So they're keeping them small so that they can't have an uprising. But,
is this like post-apocalyptic?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But I think the total population's probably less than 10,000.
Right.
In the film, it doesn't look like there's a lot of people. I mean, you've got to hire a lot of actors, I guess. So maybe in the book there's more people.
Sort of CGI, you could throw a crowd in.
They didn't in the film. So you can literally see they're all surrounded in the district. I don't think there's many people in District 12 because of how hard it is to live there. But they're all in this like row of like tons of rows about to be selected, and all the parents are on the rim, and it doesn't look like a lot of people.
Yeah, right.
I'm guessing if you don't have kids, you don't turn up, and a lot of people will probably opt not to have kids.
Yeah. Then again, it's it's dark, it's dirty work. You get whatever meager money you have got. You go and get a bottle of whiskey.
I don't think you get paid. I think you just they send you rations.
I'd imagine District 12 gets a lot of booze then.
Yeah, they just get probably not a lot.
No, I'd imagine they because they've got to keep them downtrodden, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get too drunk to think.
Give them alcohol and then just really crappy food that makes them feel lethargic all the time, but they're not so lethargic that they'll keep working.
That's it. Just kill their minds.
Yeah, you don't want to work there, do you? Because if you have a family, there's a chance one of them might get killed. If you're growing up there as a child, you might get killed or your friend might get killed. Or they might come back.
You might have to go and kill your friend.
Yeah, they might come back broken. You might come back broken. It's not a good place to live. And even if you live in District 1 and you have a really good life, eventually there's going to be an uprising because you can't do that forever.
Yeah, but you're pretty thinking, I got some high walls here.
Yeah, but no walls high enough after a while, though, is it?
Build that wall.
Build the wall.
No, don't build the wall.
No.
All right. Well, I'm not living there.
No,
That's it.
no,
I'm out.
It's not worth it. Being in District 1, you'd end up being a cunt, so it's not worth it.
Yeah, I agree. Something a bit lighter.
Yeah.
Futurama.
Futurama would be awesome to live in.
Yeah, love it. I don't even think we need to discuss this too much. I'll be there.
Let's give it a little bit of backstory so people know what Futurama is for the people that haven't seen it. It is very popular, so a lot of people will have seen it.
Delivery boy called Fry is a bit of a loser. gets tricked into delivering a pizza to a guy called I.C. Wiener, who happens to be the cryogenics lab.
At the turn of the millennium
At the turn of the millennium. Sadly, he then thinks, well, I'm going to stay here, drink this beer, and eat this pizza.
And he gets frozen.
And he falls into one of the cryo tubes, and he's frozen for 1,000 years.
Wakes up in the year 3000.
Yeah. Obviously, because he's been frozen, he then has to go and trace. Well, he goes to the sort of bureaucracy office, and they say, okay, well, Professor Hubert Farnsworth, he's your great nephew. He's your closest relative. Go and look for him. And they basically he runs a delivery company as well as being a mad scientist.
And there's a bunch of different people that kind of work there as well, isn't there?
Yes, the main cast. There's Bender, the robot, Amy, Leela,
Zoidberg, the doctor,
I love
who's
Zoidberg.
Very unqualified.
Yeah, Zoidberg is the least qualified doctor in the world. Hermes.
What does Hermes do?
He's the bureaucrat.
Ah, okay. He's the kind of legal guy that gets people out of trouble.
He's human resources.
Oh, okay.
Slashed with the guy that enforces the red tape.
Oh, okay.
But there isn't, a Planet Express.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything's a bit lax, isn't it? Because Hermes is a Jamaican stoner.
Yeah.
But Universal Limbo Champion.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
World Limbo Champion.
Yeah. But this is an awesome place to live.
Yeah, the future's fantastic. Apart from the threat of alien invasion every now and again.
Yeah, but it's fine because they always find a way to beat them.
Yeah.
They always find a way. There's the technologies there, or they manage to sweet talk their way out of it.
Yeah, there's laser guns.
Yeah, there's always a plan.
Spaceships.
They can travel back in time. They do that, and they do that
in one episode, but it's not a common thing.
No, but there's the option there if they need to.
The professor will just invent something.
Yeah.
It's a really great. It seems like a decent place to live. I mean, all right, you can still be doing a shitty job.
Yeah, the idea that the thing I don't like is you get allocated a job.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Don't you? As you're growing up, they allocate you a job and they put a chip in your hand, don't they? Because Fry tries to avoid that because they try giving him a crap job. He
wants a delivery boy. He doesn't want to be a delivery boy again, does he?
And he ends up getting a job as a delivery boy.
That's it. That is a bit shit.
Yeah.
But...
And there's suicide booths. That's a little bit depressing. They're on like the sidewalks, aren't they? That's a little bit depressing.
It is.
Walking across the street and some guy just walks in and you're like, oh, he's dead.
Well, maybe there's people who hang around them and try and talk you out of it.
Yeah, that's true. They just walk in like, that's it, I'm done. At least they have the choice, I guess.
That's it.
The choice is there.
There's the robots who seem fun.
Yeah, they drinking companions.
Yeah, because they have to drink.
Yeah.
Robots have to drink alcohol, that's how they're fueled.
Yeah.
So
you'd love being a robot, wouldn't you?
No, because it would have no effect. It's only when Bender stops drinking, he becomes drunk.
Oh, okay. So you'd have to stop drinking.
He gets, he's like laying in the gutter and he's got like rust all around his mouth like a beard, and he's like out of it, stumbling around. It's like, look at you haven't had a drink in a week. Take this whiskey. No. Stumbling around.
Yeah, that would be an awesome place to live, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, the technology's there. Medical technology seems to be pretty shit up.
You can travel and see the universe.
You can see faster than light travel is a thing that everybody can access easily.
Yeah, I mean, they're flying around with like hovercrafts in the cities and stuff, aren't they?
And if you want to take public
speed tubes.
Yeah, you got tubes to travel down.
Yeah.
You just get where you want. You haven't got to worry about anything. Just pop out. Boom. There we go.
You can marry that green alien you always wanted to marry.
I can marry Leela.
Yeah. The Cyclops. Yeah.
Sexiest Cyclops in fiction.
Yeah, definitely.
I can't think of any more. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd like to live there.
Yeah, I'd live there.
It'd be pretty awesome.
It's winning for the moment for me.
Yeah, that one's not even a debate, really. That's probably the coolest place to live, isn't it?
Okay. It's time.
Which one?
I feel it's time.
Warhammer? Or Game of Thrones?
For Warhammer 40,000.
Oh, Warhammer 40,000. Go on then.
Right.
I'll be quiet. I will give you the respect to be quiet for a couple of minutes. Something I was not given in return.
I think you were. I think you're exaggerating. You were drunk. You had no idea what was going on.
I had one drink.
You were drunk and high.
I wasn't high.
Yes, you were.
I don't smoke.
Yes, you were. You've been eating hash brownies all day.
Brownies.
Drinking rum. I was sober. I knew exactly what was going on.
That's not how I remember it.
I remember. Very different. You and I have very different memories. I was sat in a top hat.
Yeah.
And just telling you what an uncouth boar you
And
were.
apparently I was in a trilby hat.
Yes. Then you went out into the garden and cut things with a samurai
Which I
sword.
didn't even know was a thing till like the other day. Well, apparently it's a stereotype. I didn't know that.
Anyway, the Warhammer 40,000 universe set in the future.
What year?
The year 40,000. Although technically now the timeline has moved forward recently.
Yeah.
We are in the 42nd millennium.
Ah, okay. So how far forward is that?
40,000 odd years.
Hmm.
Oh, 38,000 years.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. To be a human in
Yeah.
this particular universe sucks.
Yeah.
Right? Now, you might live on a night. You'll live in the Imperium of Man.
Yeah.
Literally 1 million planets spread out across the galaxy, all held together by the worship of the God Emperor, who is a corpse, a slowly rotting. He's a corpse, but his spirit's still alive. It's complicated.
But just for a quick rundown, what's so special about him?
He is the most powerful psychic ever born. He is perpetual and immortal. But sadly, no one seems to realise that. So he's been stuck on this golden throne for 10,000 years after he was injured at the battle of Terror, which is Earth, against his favoured son Horus, who had fallen to worship of the dark gods.
Yeah.
So
there is other kind of deity level beings in this universe.
yes, there's 18 deity level beings.
There's like the things he's referring to are called chaos gods, if I remember
That's
correctly.
right, yes. So
and how many of them is there?
There's 4.
Okay.
Khorne, the god of blood and war.
Mm-hmm.
Nurgle, the god of decay and pestilence. Tzeentch, the changer of ways, fate, magic, etc. And Slanesh, pleasure and excess.
Mm-hmm.
Chaos gods like humanity because our raw emotions, because we're a very emotional race.
Easy to corrupt.
Easy to corrupt, easy to prey on our own weaknesses.
Yeah.
So if you're a warrior, you might get suckered into worshipping Khorne.
That's not good.
Because all he wants is blood and skulls.
Yeah.
If you're a diplomat or a politician, you might get suckered into worshipping Slanesh. You may not even realise you've fallen.
What other gods are there?
Magic,
Yeah.
psychers, fate, destiny, the future, the
Yeah.
past, Tzeentch.
But the Emperor is like top dog. He's the strongest one. Not right now. 'Cause
all
he's on
of them
the throne.
yeah, he's enthroned. The Chaos Gods basically thought, he's getting out the way.
Yeah.
He's stuck on that throne, can't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you have the Space Marines, where humanity elevated. They're the elite defenders of humanity.
And how did they come about?
The Emperor created them through genetic manipulation and stealing some of the gods of some powers of the Chaos Gods. He basically tricked them and took some of their power.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're an average human in this universe,
It sucks.
it sucks. It's grim dark.
Yeah. A lot of people are going to die.
Yes, humanity's most massive resource
It's
is
humans.
humanity itself.
So you're just throwing them at the wall.
Yeah, you
Try
could
and
be-
keep the chaos back.
It's not just chaos.
Yeah.
You have a choice of having your soul ripped out by a demon, a chaos demon.
Yeah.
You have a choice of being taken and being an unwilling participant in various BDSM parties by the dark space elves who are just sadists for the fun of it. You could meet the other. You might get killed by the good version of the space elves.
Yeah.
But then at that point you'd be sliced to death with an energized sword, or have various like shuriken projectile bullets thrown into you. You can get nom-nommed by giant space lizards that are intent on wiping out literally all of life and absorbing genetic material. You could plan to get invaded by space orcs, and you could get hacked to death and eaten in front of your family.
Yeah.
My God, there's robotic tomb zombies waking up on a planet that might have been completely peaceful for 10,000 years. Next thing you know, millions of fucking robotic tomb zombies with immense weaponry coming at you. If you have you are, as a human, completely on the wrong end of the evolutionary scale here.
Yeah, you're one of the weakest, aren't you? If not the weakest. The
Yeah.
only reason why humans have a chance in this is because there's tons of us.
Yes.
There's absolutely tons
And we
of
have
us.
technology.
Yeah.
Not amazing technology, because technology has become so stagnant. Most of the tech priests think that technology is part tech, part magic.
Yeah.
They say prayers to the machines before they start them. Although, one things that did make me laugh. Say the rune of awakening and then press the button, and he's like, "Fire, damn you!" And it's something. No one. We've lost so much knowledge.
Yeah.
Nothing seems to progress.
Yeah.
We're stuck with a high level of tech, but as that all degrades, they're losing the knowledge to fix it.
Yeah. That'll happen in real life at some point.
Yeah.
Because technology now is at the point where it's starting to get so advanced that a lot of people don't need to be able to fix it, know how to. So like, if your laptop broke, you wouldn't know how to fix it. You'd take it to a guy that fixes it.
Yeah, I guess you do with a hammer.
But eventually, a guy won't need to fix it because you'll just take it to a machine will fix it. And then once that machine breaks, who's going to fix it? Because no one will know.
That's
so
it.
in the next sort of 100 years, we will.
Maybe longer than that.
Nah, I say next 100, maybe 2.
Depends if there's an apocalypse level event. If we get knocked back a few hundred years, I mean, like.
I personally think it's coming already. Like, a lot of kids don't know how to fix anything right now. And
Well, no, that's because we live in a throwaway society.
Yeah, but that'll have a domino effect, I think, on the next sort of 2 generations.
The Imperium of man in 40k is the throwaway society to the ultimate extreme.
It's just kept going and going and going.
Say the Mechanicum turns up. They're the guys that look after the tech.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and they're like devotees of a machine god that could be the Emperor, but probably isn't, but they all think he is.
Yeah.
Right? They literally make themselves, the flesh is weak.
Yeah.
So they just turn themselves into robots.
Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
But that also makes them completely emotionless. So if you're there on your planet and it's a nice little agricultural world and you're in a peaceful sector,
yeah,
you're like, going about my daily life, farming, it's sunny, life's good here, we've got enough food, we don't have to because we send loads of food out to other planets, we don't have to provide so many troopers to the Imperial Guard, so is the Imperial Army.
Yeah.
I'm just living a good life, man, I'm probably not going to get called up to go and fight in a war zone and, die horribly very quickly.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, the Mechanicum turns up and says, "Oh, by the way, your planet's got adamantium seams, so we need that."
So they take it.
They would literally just ruin the planet and enslave you to mine that shit, along with their robot slaves.
Doesn't sound like a great place to live.
They would literally, and then the planet would be so polluted and destroyed that they'd just fuck off and leave it.
So what you're saying is the entire universe is either at war or being extracted of resources.
In the grim darkness of the far future,
for anyone that doesn't know,
there is only war.
For anyone that doesn't know, he says grim dark because that's the first saying in one of the books or all the books.
Grim dark. He says it everywhere. The grim darkness. He's saying grim dark because everything's always grim and dark.
Yeah. See, I didn't understand that, so you had to explain it to me in detail.
Now, if you are a human and you get called up to the Imperial Guard, you'll be trained on the way to the combat zone, which might be 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
Your faster than light travel might be a couple of months.
How does that faster than light travel work?
You literally travel through hell.
You travel through hell. So
this
is where all those chaos gods live.
Yes, you pop out of real space into warp space, which it's like a parallel universe.
Yeah.
That sometimes overflows. This is where the Chaos Gods live, and all the demons, and all the raw emotion of humanity. Some say it is literally the afterlife as well.
So it's not an ideal place to go.
No.
They have to go there to
that's how they basically... It's like a wormhole thing.
Yeah.
So you pop in,
pop out,
and you pop out
to the location you need.
But because time runs differently in that, you might pop out 100 years later.
Well, that's not ideal.
No. The place you've actually gone to fight has just been completely destroyed, and everyone's fucked off.
So what do they do then?
They just turn around and go somewhere else, I suppose.
Try and pop back to the time they were meant to go to.
It's 100 years later.
Seems a bit...
You'll never go back to your home planet as an Imperial Guardsman if you survive. Once you go, that is it.
Sucks, man.
Yeah. And your average life expectancy is 15 hours.
Wow. 15 hours.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That is the life expectancy of a new recruit to the Imperial Guard in battle. 15 hours.
15 hours.
You've got armour that's no better than what we have now, but is really cheap and easy to mass produce, because remember, you have got literally billions upon billions of guardsmen.
So there's no point in making armour then, really?
No, it's good against it's like flak jackets.
They might as well run out naked.
Yeah. And then they have like laser guns, which sounds cool, las guns.
Yeah.
But compared to everybody else's weapons, they're a bit shit.
Yeah.
Space Marines carry bolt guns. They fire miniature rocket propelled grenades.
Yeah.
Your flak armour does nothing against that. And of course they get issued with their standard issue titanium balls.
Yeah. Because
that's their job, is to hold the line and die holding the line if necessary.
And having titanium balls.
To do that.
Yep.
So yeah, that is my rundown of why it is so shit to live there.
So you wouldn't live there?
And also, if you get thoughts that the Emperor isn't God, and you voice that,
Yeah.
then the ecclesiarchy will come round, knock on your door, take you out and burn you as a heretic.
Damn.
Or the Inquisition shows up and executes you.
So he's a bit of a dick, to be fair, the Emperor.
He didn't want the church thing, he didn't want to be worshipped as a god, but it's the only thing that's held the Imperium together while he's sat on the throne without his personal leadership.
So you wouldn't live there?
Fuck no.
No, I wouldn't live there. It sounds awful. Awful. Can I wind you up about it now?
Yep, go on.
Right, so for anyone that doesn't know, this started off as like a tabletop game, okay?
Yes, yeah.
So it's kind of like chess, but instead of using chess pieces, you use little toys.
Little models, yeah.
Toys.
Models.
Toys.
Pieces, models, yeah.
So yeah, these little,
Units.
these little toys that you play with.
They're not toys because they don't move.
Basically.
There's no moving parts on them. And remember, the part of the hobby is the assembling and painting of said parts.
Go grab your phone and search what a toy means, because all it means is like a figurine.
All
it's
right,
a smaller scale thing that you
but
play
it's something
with.
you built, so it's a model.
It's a toy.
It's a model.
It's a model if you built it. Did you build it and paint it?
What are Legos? Lego
Toys.
models.
A toys.
Lego models.
It's a toy.
But they're Lego models because you build it.
Yeah, but did you build the toys that you play with?
They don't come fully assembled unless you buy them on eBay.
Is it painted?
When I buy them, but I could buy some new ones and do it myself.
So if you were to buy it unbuilt and unpainted, it would be a model. But how do you buy them?
On eBay.
Fully built and painted?
Yeah.
So you're buying a toy.
Some models.
But yeah, even though you're an absolute nerd, I'm not going to pick on you for it, because I too am a nerd and I quite enjoy being a nerd. So despite never playing it, I probably would like to at some point, even though it's playing with toys. What I'm going to pick on is the books and the lore.
Hey, the lore is some of the best sci-fi war out there.
I'm not saying that the lore is terrible. It's overcomplicated and a little bit dull.
It's not overcomplicated. It just means I've been in the game for 20 years.
This is why I'm going to tear this apart. How many books are there?
Oh man, in the Horus Heresy series, which is like the background to 40k.
And just all of the 40k books, not a...
Oh man, I haven't got a clue. I mean, there's like 50 something in the Horus Heresy series so far.
So how many books?
There's got to be over 200 or 300 titles.
How many books sort of like in your knowledge have that many? Like, so how many sort of, what would you call it? Franchises have that many books? Or is it probably the only one?
DC, Marvel.
Yeah, they're comics.
Franchise.
They're comics, not books.
What's the difference? They have Warhammer comics now made by Marvel.
My point is, what makes a great story, like a book, because that's what it is. It's not a comic. It's a book. What makes a great series of books or a story is it has a beginning, a middle, and an end.
This is where we're getting now.
And you follow a group of, or a hero, and he becomes or she becomes something special.
Oh, the hero's journey, yes.
That's almost every story.
It is every, not in Warhammer.
Now,
not in Warhammer.
This is why Warhammer is terrible.
No, 40k.
This is why 40k is terrible, and I'm going to tell you why now. Because it only has a beginning and a middle, and the reason why it only has a beginning and a middle is because they're trying to sell toys, and it makes no sense financially. It makes no sense financially for it to ever have an end. That's why there's been 30 plus books, and they've literally in the last one or two started progressing the timeline forwards a fraction of time.
So they can sell more models.
So they can sell new editions of models, but they've literally gone, right, this guy's been on a throne for 10,000 years. What should we do? A story writer would go, let's kill him so the story can progress and we can start wrapping this up in the next 10 years.
They don't want to wrap it up. And Warhammer Age of Sigmar has made Games Workshop in the last 3 or 4 years one of the few British companies who've made a massive profit because it's becoming more popular.
And that's the thing. It's not designed to be a great story. It's designed to be an okay story that's dragged on for 20 or 30 years.
Yeah, but you can fit so much because there's
Will
so
it
many...
ever end? Will it ever end?
It may well do.
It'll never end. He'll never die because it just wants to carry on the...
It may well do. The Primarchs, the Sons of the Emperor, returning gradually. The loyal and the traitor.
Does it look like anyone's going to win the war?
Well, it can still go either way. Basically, there will be an end battle.
Yeah. Does it look like that anyone's winning the war currently?
No, the Imperium is pretty much stagnant.
How long has it been in a stalemate for?
10,000 years.
10,000 years. Are we going to wait another 10,000 years for the ending? The point is it's not a great story. It's a good story that can keep people reading the books that will never have an ending. Game of Thrones. has an ending. Yes, he's not wrote
and
it
that's
yet.
why it sucked.
He's not wrote it yet. The series has an ending. The books don't have an ending, but we know
He'll never finish that. So they may actually one day decide they are going to end that and have the Age of the Emperor.
Yeah.
They did it with Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah.
They said, okay, basically massive chaos invasion. The god Sigmar has returned.
Yeah.
So now it's Age of Sigmar, and we brought out this new faction and this new faction. There we go. And it was panned at first, and now everyone seems, now all the players like it. So they probably will do an Age of the Emperor where the Emperor does get off his arse.
Where he dies. He'll have to die.
Where he dies, Earth gets wiped out.
Yeah.
And then
they'll do that in like 10 years after they've sold
maybe they
another
will,
30 books.
Yeah. But they're coming to the end of the.
You do realise this might outlive you. It might be going for like 50 years.
Mate, I must have spent thousands.
You'll never know how it ends because it'll outlive you.
I must have spent thousands on the books.
Yeah.
I bought virtually every single one of the
if anybody wants to rob Ben. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is it doesn't have an end, and they don't want it to have an end because it's not profitable.
But you're not. This is all right. You're getting off point.
Because story,
you're saying it's bad because they'll never end the story.
Every story.
I'm saying the truth is, and you're just getting out some venting. You're just venting.
I'm picking on you because I ripped me.
Because I ripped your anime, your Japanese cartoon.
It's anime.
Right. What's anime mean in Japan? Japanese. Animated, probably. It's a cartoon.
It follows manga, which is art.
Right, okay. Well, either way,
yeah,
you're picking apart, going, oh, well, it's the problem here is that, the problem there is that. They're never going to end the story. Doesn't matter.
Because it's all about profit.
It's all about keeping people buying the models and buying the books.
Yeah.
But they probably will do that. But the point is, we're not here to discuss whether they're greedy capitalist bastards for stretching the money out to make more, stretching the story out to make more money. We're here to discuss which fictional universe is best or worst to live in.
I'm bringing myself back to that.
Right.
It's not a good universe because in any of these universes, the story has an ending. Most of them are happy endings. That'll never have an happy ending because it'll be an infinity war.
Yeah.
So it's not going to have a happy ending because it'll never end. Every great story has a journey.
We're getting there.
And an ending, and it doesn't have one. Game of Thrones, there's going to be someone on that throne.
Let's talk about Game of Thrones.
The Witcher, he's going to have a happy ending where he gets to bang what's-her-face.
I thought he did.
Well, he gets to bang her in retirement.
All right.
What's her name? I can't remember her name now.
I have no idea, but I didn't...
Yennefer.
Yennefer, she was hot.
Well, he's retired.
She's in Wolverhampton, you know.
Yeah, she is. I told you that.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Right. So I don't want to live in the 40k universe.
No, it seems like a pretty terrible place to live.
Yeah.
It sounds really good for like if you're like a high-end marine that doesn't really like doing his job.
Oh well, all the space marines love doing their job. They're very brainwashed.
I thought there was one guy that was fat.
Oh yeah, he's like a genetic freak.
Yeah, he doesn't sound like he likes doing his job very much.
No, he's like eating. He's quite a capable killer.
There you go. Be him. If you get to be him, he's
no, because they shouldn't get fat. They're literally the peak of humanity.
Yeah, but his life sounds pretty cushy.
Yeah, they sent him to Earth because he was a bit of an embarrassment. So
sounds like he won there.
He's always got an ale horn.
What's going on in Earth? Is anything bad happening there?
Apart from a recent demonic invasion, no.
So he's just chilling out. Post-war, he's like, great, I'm good for like the next 500 years, and then there'll be another. Then there'll be another.
Call him back eventually.
Yeah.
You know, he might just get fat.
He'll sit around for 500 years and be like, right, when's the next war?
But you're a spaceman, you're an Astarte, you're genetically engineered for warfare.
Just seems a bit dull and boring, doesn't it? It's like your entire existence is forever and it's just constant warfare.
You're not immortal. You're immortal. You're biologically immortal.
Do they not
die in battle.
Do they not have like an existential crisis? You'll be like, you know what? There's no point to this.
They're brainwashed to serve humanity and the Emperor.
Surely, if I go far enough, I'll go outside of their reach. They can't reach the entire universe.
Then they end up becoming renegades and probably fall into chaos.
I just do that.
Yeah, but then you get mutated and...
Sounds like the renegades are the good guys. Sounds like the chaos gods are the good guys. Emperor sounds like a bit of a knob.
The Emperor didn't want the Imperium to end up like this.
But it has, though.
But without his personal leadership, it has. IQs have dropped sharply. Yeah. Much like now.
Yeah, definitely.
You mentioned The Witcher.
I mean, there's a ton of people reading 40k books.
Oh, that was terrible. All right, then you know what? Screw you. Let's talk about your fucking Japanese cartoon, One Piece.
You want to try and pick on me, do you?
One Piece, tell me about
I
that.
thought we were doing Game of Thrones.
I changed your mind.
Oh, you want to pick a fight?
Yeah.
Alright, then, what do you want to know?
Oh, alright. This is the point of the show. Is
It's
this
a
good place to
manga
live?
and a show. Yeah, it's an awesome place to live.
Why?
Because you get to be a pirate.
That sounds like I'm going to die a very bloody death, though.
About 70 or... No, if you're a good pirate.
Well, everyone's time runs out at some point.
About 70 or 80% of the planet is filled with ocean water, and only
Right.
about 20% is land, and all of the land is made up of mostly islands. There's not big, like, sort of, like, clusters of mass.
There isn't
of
continents.
Land.
It's
Continents, yeah. There's not massive clusters of land like there is here. Well, there is big kingdoms, don't get me wrong, but they're not sort of size we have. And piracy's massive there. The main military force is obviously Marines, because you don't need any other military force on a planet like that,
Space
really.
Marines, are they?
Huh?
They're not Space Marines.
Nah, because
are
they're
they?
not shit.
The Adeptus Astartes, mate, 100 of them can conquer a planet.
Yeah,
Literally, 100 Space Marines can conquer a planet.
yeah. But
So-
none of them have any personality, though.
Nah, they are all a bit dull, the Imperial ones.
That's
but
what makes the stories a bit dull, because most of them don't have a personality.
Some
It's like,
of them do.
Who's your favourite character?
Well,
Who's your favourite character?
I'm a Chaos guy, so
Who's your
it's-
favourite character?
um,
Not your favourite group. Who's your favourite character?
wouldn't I just
You don't
say?
have one because there's none of them are interesting enough
I like
individually.
Talos of the Night Lords. He's quite fun. Zal as well. He's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he headbutts a dude to death,
Yeah.
and then manages to then ends up killing himself by headbutting. He headbutts a dude to death through his helmet.
It all sounds like all
Yeah.
of their character progression is just pure violence.
It is.
There's
yeah.
no sort of emotional growth
my
there.
ex used to call them my teenager books.
Yeah, there's no emotional growth there.
Sometimes there is.
Do they have like a really sad emotional moment and they're just in tears on the floor like no?
Oh no, because that's not very grimdark.
It's not very well rounded either in terms of writing.
Whatever. Anyway, your cartoon.
My cartoon, my anime.
So basically, it's an ocean. It's like Kevin Costner's Waterworld,
But there's more
but
islands.
with the navy and pirates.
No, because there's islands.
All right then. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're salty now because I tore your favourite thing
You
apart.
didn't tear it apart at all.
It wasn't even difficult either.
Well, this won't be difficult.
Okay, why won't it be difficult?
Hang on. Do you want to go and get your trilby?
No, it's okay. It's in the wash.
Is it?
Yeah.
What about your katana? Do you want to go cut some watermelons in the
If
garden?
I get my katana out, all the bitches will be over just watching me and my sweet moves. I'm bulletproof, man. Come at me as much as you want. I am bulletproof. Right.
Where's your neck beard? Shouldn't you be fatter? You don't smell enough.
I know. I'm hench, attractive, and well groomed. Damn.
Possibly
That's-
homosexual.
That's awful for me. How awful for me. Anyway, before I was rudely interrupted, you basically, in that world, you can be like a normal person that just hangs about and goes about their daily life like any other world, or you can be a pirate or marine. That's pretty much the two main sort of military type careers you can have.
Don't you put some magic fruit up your bum and it gives you a power?
Here we go, trying to take the piss. Right, so there's a thing, so there's pirates and there's the marines. They've been at war for a long time. Not all pirates are bad, not all marines are good, just like in real life. Not everyone that's meant to be good is meant to be good, not everyone that's meant to be bad is meant to be bad. Just like you know how you got the stereotype of bikers are meant to be all bad, a lot of them are quite nice.
A lot of them are dicks though.
A lot of them are, but a lot of them are nice as well. And just like the police are meant to be all good, as we know, a lot of them are corrupt.
A lot of them are dicks.
Yeah, and it's the same sort of concept. Some of the pirates are good. The main characters are pirates. I'm not going to go into them because you'll just try and pick faults with them.
More than likely, I bet there's zero character progression.
Oh, there's tons of character
Sticks
progression.
a magic fruit up his arse and learns to control his power.
Right, so the thing you're referring to is devil fruit. So there's a lot of mysteries.
Devil fruit.
There's a lot of mystery surrounded by them, but the idea is you eat a fruit and you gain an ability, a superpower. Okay?
Yeah.
Because a lot in fictional sort of universes, a lot of the time it's always about having a power because human beings don't have powers, and it's always nice to dream about that. That's why the Marvel universe exists. That's why My Hero Academia exists. One Piece. It's even why Space Marines exist, because you've probably imagined yourself rocking up in this massive armor, smashing the shit out of a bunch of orcs.
Ooh, I don't know. It's too grimdark for me to consider that.
You wouldn't do that?
I don't know if I want to be a space marine. I mean, I would, but at the same time,
You're like
means
one,
I'm going to die in battle.
You're like
doesn't it?
one
I
of
don't
the-
die of old age.
you're like one of the strongest Space Marines.
Well, in that case, then. But at that point, I'm going to have to fight like the main Chaos guy, like Abaddon, and
Yeah, but it's cool. It's a pretty cool sort of thing.
Yeah.
Would you be a Space Marine here?
On
our
Earth?
world? Yeah.
you
So you're
look,
like
what? So I'm like 9 foot tall and
hench as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone likes the idea of having superpowers. Yeah. So that's all a devil fruit is. It's just you eat the fruit, you become super powerful. And there's 3 types of powers. There's the types where you can manipulate things like your body.
Right.
Yeah. There's ones where you can control the elements. So fire, water, anything like that. Ice.
Wind would be handy if
Yeah.
captain of a ship.
Yeah. And then there's another one where you can change your body into that of a beast, like an animal.
Bestiality.
No, you turn into an animal. You don't fuck the animal, you turn into
What
an
if
animal.
someone fucks you while you're the animal?
So if you eat the fruit, it'll turn you into a bull. You can transform either into a bull, your normal human form, or the bull-human hybrid, so you have the super strength and kind of
be
like
a cow and get milked.
if you want him. That's a little
What
bit.
happens if you turn into a cow?
Then you become a cow hybrid.
What happens if you like get a mouse?
And you get a really shit fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously, the more powerful a pirate, you're going to go after the big fruits. You're going to go after the...
So it's the bigger the fruit.
It's not the bigger, it's the more powerful.
Well, how do you know they're more powerful? Is this random or not?
Because they've been around for hundreds of years, so there's actually like a codex. With
Okay.
How all the fruits look,
What they do.
everything about them. And the way to get a fruit is the person that has the fruit, you kill them or they die of natural causes, and then that devil, that demon, then transfers into the closest fruit and turns it into a devil fruit. Then you can eat the fruit, so it transforms. So if you got an apple,
so you're eating a demon that's been inside your best mate who's dead.
It's not your best mate, is it? It's another pirate. You've probably killed him because he's an enemy or you don't like him, or he's a marine.
Maybe he just fell down dead next to you and maybe gets shot by marines.
So there's like one guy that ate this fruit that gives him the powers to poison. Like he can literally turn into poison. He can poison everyone. He can throw poison. He becomes liquid poison.
Handy.
If you manage to kill him, which is going to be very difficult because he can turn into liquid poison, and you've got an apple in your pocket, it'll turn into that devil fruit. You eat that, you get that power.
So they all carry apples in their pockets just in case.
I mean, I would. I'd take a piece of fruit with me everywhere, just in case you get a shot at killing someone with a really powerful fruit. Yeah?
Yeah.
So once you've got that
but
power...
can I change if I eat one?
Yeah.
And I get like, I don't know, let's say I can throw fire.
Yeah.
And then I'm a liquid poison guy.
You can't have 2 fruits. So they're called devil fruits because the sort of mythos behind them is it's believed that somewhere in the world is a tree that is imbued with the souls of demons.
Right.
That's the sort of theory. It's imbued with the soul of demons, and you eating this fruit puts that soul of that demon within your body. So you can't eat 2. If you eat 2, those 2 demons will go at war within your body and destroy you. So you get 1 power.
So if you swap or...
No. You eat a fruit and it's shitty, that's it. You're stuck with it forever.
Oh,
So
right.
that is a bit shit.
Yeah.
You get a good fruit, it's awesome. You got an awesome power. You don't even need to like train. You can dick everyone. There's a guy called Smoker, and he literally can turn into smoke.
It's not bad.
It's hard to beat that guy. You try and punch him, he turns into smoke.
Yeah.
But he can make parts of himself physically manifest. So you can try chopping his arm off, it turns into smoke, and then he punches you in the face with his fist. That's a hard person to beat in a fight.
Yeah.
So the powers scaling on the fruits are different, but you can have a shit fruit and train it and kind of get the most out of your fruit. Just like a human being can train their body and get the most out of sort of what genetics they have. So it isn't an ideal system, and because it's like getting a curse, yes, you have the power, but you also lose the ability to swim, which is a massive drawback living in a planet like you live in.
That seems like a huge drawback.
It is, yeah.
You just can't swim at all.
Nope.
You literally just... Oh, I used to be able to do the 100 metres in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
You jump in the water, you just go, and drown.
Yeah.
Well, why can't they just... Well, surely anyone who keeps their mind clear at that point can just go, oh yeah, stroke.
No, it's like paralysis, like you're allergic to seawater.
Oh right, you just...
Yeah.
Oh, so you just boot someone overboard, give them the old "this is Sparta" treatment,
They
they're
die.
dead.
They die. They drown. Unless someone dives in and gets them. This is why you have crews, and this is why not everyone has a devil fruit ability on your crew. So if you're in a fight and you're fighting the Marines or another pirate crew, or you
So how many of these devil fruits are not that common then?
I don't know how many there is. I've not researched it that much, but I'd imagine there's only 1,000 maybe. There's not a lot.
Oh right, so the
entire
majority
world.
of people trotting around can swim and
Yes.
I guess normal dudes, and then...
So if you're a high-end pirate crew, you've probably managed to pull in a few devil fruit users, but if you say there's 15, 16 members of your crew, probably 3 of them are users.
Yeah.
So it's not everyone.
They're not drug addicts.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you get a pirate ship and there's like 15,
Yeah.
16 crew. 3 of them are probably on heroin.
If you think you're fighting the Marines and they just blow up your ship, you want a few people that can swim, get you out of the the ocean and onto that marine ship so you can take it.
Yeah.
So you want more swimmers than non-swimmers usually in your crew.
Yeah,
because that is a massive
chain system.
Yeah, that's a massive drawback in a place where the world is not like 80%. On land, it's great. So if you go on land,
I live on land then.
Yeah, you go on land, you're going to be hard to beat.
I was saying, you're going to go in the bath.
You can go in the bath. Normal water's fine. Salt water. A lot of Devil Fruit users aren't fans of water in general because the old idea.
Dangerous.
Yeah, but salt water's not good for you, but normal water's fine. But being a pirate, salt water's all you've got, so you kind of just have to bath in it. As long as like half of your body isn't submerged, you can still kind of move around. It's only the bit that's submerged. So if you fall in, you're drowning. But if you're kind of sitting in the bath, hip height, you can still move your arms to wash yourself. You just can't move. You have to lift yourself up with your arms.
All right, so
it's not a great place to live for that.
How many people are in? So there's pirates and the navy.
Yes.
What scale are we talking at? Is this war at?
Is
there a pirate side and a navy side of the planet? What are we looking at?
Okay.
Is this like if I'm living on an island?
Yeah.
And the navy rocks up and says, right, you're now a marine because we're short of manpower.
You're a marine.
Get on the ship.
You're a marine.
I haven't got a choice.
No. So there's 4 seas. There's the East Blue, South Blue. I'm not going to go into it, Northwest and all that. But there's 4 seas, yeah? And each one has a group of islands on it, on the planet. And they're named. All the islands have got like unique names.
Yeah.
And then there's all the pirates, all in the ocean. And the Marines usually have headquarters where they have like sort of strong points. If your sort of town has a Marine strong point on it, it's ruled by the Marines. That's it. It's like a dictatorship.
Yeah.
You're ruled by.
That's a bit shit.
And then the Marines, they serve under the world government, and the world government, so they're the politicians. They make all the choices. They serve the nobility.
Right.
And they're like they call them the celestial dragons, and they are basically the rich of the rich. They literally live in like these sort of sky tower things, we'll call them, but if they come down, they usually like wear like gloves and a helmet because they think everyone's disgusting. They don't want to breathe the same air as the poor, so they rarely ever come down. That's why they call them the celestial dragons. They basically think they're gods. They're nobility. There's nothing special about them. They don't have powers. They're actually very weak, most of them, but they've been put on this pedestal where they're safe, and they whatever they want they have. If they want women, they have them. They want slaves, they have them. If they say I want that, well, if they come down for some unknown reason, like they want a new slave, they walk through the town, they've got the Marines protecting them, and they're like, she's really pretty, she's coming home with me. She's going home with him. Even if she's married, her husband's being left behind, her kids are being left behind, she's going with him. It is a ruthless dictatorship. But the Marines are meant to be the good guys. Yeah. But they're not, because they have to serve
like the Empire.
Yeah, they have to serve the nobility, and they have to, but my story actually has a start, middle and an end.
Still going the show, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's working towards the end now. It's going to end.
K's working towards the end. Who knows?
Yeah, but the idea is the goal of every pirate in this story is to one day become the Pirate King, and the idea is the main character. This is the story of the main character eventually becoming the Pirate King. We all know how it's going to end. We just want to watch to see how it ends. He will become the Pirate King. Will it mean he dies? Literally defeating like the world government, defeating the Marines, and then they call him the Pirate King even though he's dead? Or will he become the Pirate King and free the oceans from the military tyranny?
Alright, then so
there's an end.
What's life like under the Pirate Islands?
So what happens is there's something called the New World, which is basically the pirates realised a long time ago that don't get me wrong, they're in the ocean where all the military are and where all the navy are, that the navy mostly controls. A lot of them start out there with their crews and their ships, but a lot of them realised if you want to be a great pirate, you're not going to be able to do that with the world government controlling as much of the sea as they can. So you need to go to the New World because there's not much of a marine presence there. And that's actually ruled by this thing called the 4 Emperors,
right?
Also known as the 4 Yonko, and they are basically pirate kings. They are in control of the New World. The Marines can't get in there and make a proper impact and control.
I think I'm having a nerd-induced stroke.
You're having
left side's gone numb.
You're having a nerd-induced stroke. I had to listen to like 40 minutes of Warhammer crap.
40 minutes?
Do you know how nerdy some of the shit you said was? Like the psychers. What the fuck is a psyker?
It's a psychic.
Okay. And what the hell is a machine? What was the machine god called again?
The Omnissiah.
I didn't even bother naming the names of most of this because I knew how nerdy it was. You're like, the Omnissiah. Everyone's listening to it like,
the machine god?
The fuck is that?
I said the machine god.
They skipped 20 minutes. They're going to skip 20 minutes of your description because you made it too intense.
So, alright. Do you want to live there or not?
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're a pirate...
What if I'm just not a pirate and not a marine? What if I'm just a normal dude living on an island making farming food?
A lot of islands are safe. A lot of the marines are... Not all the marines are bad. A lot of them are good. They protect the islands they're on. Some of the pirates are good. In the New World, where the Yonko are, they call themselves the Four Emperors, and a lot of them have islands under their protection, where they will leave pirates that serve under them, not in their main crew, in their fleet. They'll leave pirates that protect those islands from invading pirates.
But that's the possibility that the guys protecting me are going to all get killed, and then they're going to steal my family away from me.
And that's what's happening at the moment. There's a guy called Blackbeard, who you've heard, everyone's heard of Blackbeard.
Yeah,
Blackbeard
Edward Teach.
Yeah, he's one of the new 4 Yonkos. One of the old ones died. Whitebeard, he died. You've heard of Whitebeard?
Yeah, you told me about him.
Yeah, well, everyone's heard of Blackbeard and Whitebeard. You grow up learning the
no, Whitebeard's not a real dude. Blackbeard is.
I think he is. I think he is in mythology. I think
never heard of
made him. Up, not historically real, but I've heard of him as a child before I started watching One Piece. Yeah. Anyway, he's basically now he's a new Yonko and Whitebeard's dead. He's now taking over islands from other Yonko, other emperors.
Right on my left side, just.
Tell me again the name of the son of the emperor. What was his name?
Oh, there's loads. 20.
Name a couple of them.
Sanguinius.
Lehman
Russ.
Lehman Russ. Can you spell that? Can you spell that?
Yeah, Lemanruss.
That's like information.
Lehman Russ.
That's the information I didn't really need to know. I was just seeing if you could.
Yeah, at least you gave me the easy one. Sanguinius, putting it off the top of my head.
Sanguinius, jeez.
Horrors.
And yet, Yonko is too much for you.
Oh, it's just so Japanese. I used to start having flashbacks to my previous life in World War II.
In World War II?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, these 4 emperors, they control the new world.
And one emperor.
Huh?
He's one emperor.
Well, that's the Pirate King, but he died, so
we're waiting. A new one.
We're waiting for one.
Ugh.
That's the story of the main character. He's going to become the new Pirate King.
Well, it's quite a bit fine, isn't it?
Whitebeard was going to be the new Pirate King, but then Blackbeard killed him, so...
Well, it's going to be Blackbeard then, isn't it?
Basically, the idea behind the story, to wrap it up, is there's a treasure somewhere in the New World, in one of the islands, like in an undiscovered location that only the old Pirate King had ever found, Gold Roger, which we've all heard of as well. He was the Pirate King.
Sounds like a dildo.
Gold Roger's Roger.
Get the new Gold Roger.
You've never heard of Gold Roger?
No.
He's a pirate.
No.
He's a pirate.
I've never even heard of that.
That's not made up by like Japanese people.
Right.
That's Gold Roger is a proper.
I guarantee. Is it Gold Roger or just a bad translation?
What?
Like Gold Roger, but is it like, I don't know, Gold? I don't know. Gold Roger sounds like a pirate dildo.
Search Gold Roger on your phone.
No, I haven't my phone on me.
But anyway, he was the old king of the pirates. He is an actual. He's probably fictional, like Whitebeard, but he's been around probably longer than One Piece has. They probably both have.
Right.
I'm pretty sure Brownbeard is a fictional sort of character. They've done them all.
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
I think it might have something to do with Treasure Island. I'm not sure. I lost my train of thought now. Yeah.
Do you want to live there?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well.
You could basically become a pirate and find this treasure, become Pirate King if you wanted to.
Yeah, but chances are I'm going to die a horribly bloody death.
Only if you're a weak pirate, or
what if I'm one of the dudes they don't give the fruit to?
You don't get given it. You have to find it.
Well, yeah. What if I
or
don't
kill
find
someone
any,
that has it?
Kill anyone with it? I'm going to die a.
You would join
a cannonball cuts me in half.
You'd join the Marines.
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you would.
No, I'm not joining the Marines.
Yeah, you would.
Be a pirate.
You bone Marines enough to
I'm be a pirate.
No, you wouldn't. You'd be a Marine. You bone the Marines often enough.
I don't bone Marines. Are you on about?
Oh, Space Marines. Oh.
Yeah, the genetically enhanced Superman.
Yeah, you love Marines. That's what I'm hearing.
No.
So you join the Marines.
Oh, all right, bum pirate.
And they'll train you as well, so you can get really strong. The Marines. As a pirate, you've got to do that yourself.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, the Marines will make you a strong. If you've got the potential, they make you a strong hero.
Well, they better give me some fruit too.
No, it's first come, first serve. You find that fruit and you can eat it.
Man. All right.
Would you live there?
No, it sounds fucking terrible. It's constant war.
A lot of countries are peaceful.
And then I've got like some dude rocking up who can turn himself into smoke and beating me to death.
He's a Marine and he's actually a really good guy.
All right, then
So only if you're a pirate.
Someone evil turning up and using their hero power to smash me to death.
It's a massive planet with lots of islands, so some of them are under tyranny of pirates, marines, nobles, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them are peaceful. There's an island called Elbath which is just filled with giants.
That sounds horrifying as well.
I think that it's a peaceful place.
But aren't you the giant?
No, just regular giants.
No.
And I don't think they're at war. There's a place called Wano, which is basically feudal Japan.
Okay, well, all right. Well, maybe if if I just want to live a normal life, I suppose I have the options there.
You could eat a devil fruit and gain the power of a devil.
Well, it depends on what power it's going to be.
Some of them do suck, to be fair.
Yeah,
there's a guy that ate a fruit that gives him the powers of wax. He can turn his body into wax.
Wow.
Yep. Good for if you're like trying to steal stuff, because then you can turn your hand into a key and open locks and stuff.
Oh, they need some lights. They can just put a wick in you and set you on fire.
He makes a great thief. But
what
that's
happens if
about
they set him on fire?
I would imagine he'd melt.
Would he reform?
I don't know.
What if you eat a really shit devil fruit that just turns you into a slug?
That would suck.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're that lame.
Yeah.
Some of them are lame, but I don't think they're that lame. It's your creativity and imagination as to how you use it as well. Like this one woman, she ate a fruit that just basically makes it so she can slide, but it means she can run really fast.
And she just became the Flash then.
Yeah, basically, because she thought of a creative way of using her ability.
Well, alright then. So it's 50-50. I'm not convinced.
You're not convinced?
No.
You're just saying that because you wanted to rip on one of mine again.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. You like Harry Potter too. I'd barely ripped that.
Harry Potter's okay.
We've got 2 more to do.
Yeah, we've covered all the cool shit and then 40k.
Oh, we covered your Japanese cartoons.
Japanese anime. You love anime anyway. You've seen
I don't care.
You've seen about 6 series.
I still call them cartoons.
No, you don't. You call them anime.
They're cartoons.
They're not cartoons.
They're cartoons.
American
cartoons.
Cartoons. So if they
That's the way it is, sorry.
if they created an animated series of 40k, would you call it a cartoon?
Yeah.
You would, even if it was made in Japan.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It's an animated show. It's a cartoon.
So people would just say, this is just a cartoon, and you wouldn't be like...
No, because I like cartoons. They're great. Watch loads of cartoons. Most of what I watch are cartoons.
Yeah.
You know, or from comic books at least.
It would be incorrectly labelled then, though, wouldn't it?
Oh, never mind with your incorrect labelling.
That's like... Well, you seem to get pretty angry when I called the figures in Warhammer toys.
They're models.
It literally says, when you Google them, it says Warhammer 40k toys.
They're in the toys section on eBay, but
they're toys.
Are models.
Yeah, because they are essentially toys. They're a subsection of toys.
No. Oh, no.
See that? You get pissed off about.
No,
Isn't that a tomato type thing?
Well, I don't know.
Apparently it is with anime and cartoons.
They're cartoons, they're animated.
Same thing, is it?
Yes.
So like figure and like toy.
No, because you have action figures, can't you?
Which is still a toy. It's a subgenre of toy.
Figures are different.
They're in Toy Story.
Look.
They're a toy.
We're never going to agree.
Because they're a toy.
Because it's a cartoon. Okay, alright, The Witcher.
The Witcher.
Go on, because I tried to watch the series on Netflix.
I don't know how you couldn't get into it, because it's like Game of Thrones.
Look, I've got nothing against the show.
Yeah.
But the problem is that never having played the game, never having watched any of the books...
Watch the books. Read books.
Or read
Why
the
didn't you
books.
read the books then? They'll get you into it and you'll understand it.
I just think, what the fuck is going on? Because there was time jumps and it was like... Then I realised there were time jumps, and because I don't know enough about the timeline, I had no idea what was happening.
Yeah, to be fair, that did kind of surprise quite a lot of people. It doesn't really let on in the show till like the 3rd episode that there's time jumps.
Yeah.
It's not so much there's time jumps as though you're following the stories of 3 characters. Yennefer the witch, Ciri the princess, and Geralt of Rivia, or Geralt of Rivia, however you pronounce his name. So it follows those 3. It just happens to follow their stories on several different timelines.
That's the problem.
So there's no actual time skipping or jumping. It's just that each one of them is on a different timeline. So I'm holding my hand up right now, drawing 3 imaginary lines. So they're on just 3 separate timelines. They're all in the same universe, but you're just seeing them at different times.
Yeah.
So Gerald is like his timeline. You see him kind of travel through the other 2 characters' timelines.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Yennefer's is like where she becomes a witch and all that, and then her timeline intersects with Gerald's, and then Ciri's intersects with both of theirs at the end.
I'm still fucking confused. But I don't want to live in this universe for the simple fact that
Nobody wants to live in this universe. It's awful.
Because there's literally monster hunters, which means monsters.
Yeah.
You know, the witches are not underemployed, are they?
No, so to just quickly explain the witches, basically there is so many monsters and so many creatures in the Witcher world, and it is such a dangerous place to live that you can't even walk from one town to another without getting attacked. You can't even live in a village without getting attacked by a mythical creature that's extremely violent.
Yes.
There's ghosts, there's monsters,
magic.
There's creepy crawlies, there's everything. There's magic, there's curses. Everything in that world wants to kill you, whether you're a witcher or a townsperson.
How does anyone live?
Well, this is the thing, see. People were struggling to live in this world because it's, well, in this country where it's based in, is very dangerous. So they created witches, which is basically where they took... I might get this wrong now. It's been a while since I've played the game, so I can't remember the history very well. But they take a bunch of children.
Right.
For some reason, only boys can become witches. I think,
like Space Marines?
Yeah, so the author's a little bit sexist, I think, to be...
Enemy men can become Space Marines in 40k.
And why is that?
It's because the Emperor's a man. So therefore, the Space Marines are sort of... He's like their grandfather in a way. The powers are reduced.
Yeah, why can't it go to a woman there?
It's just the way the DNA gene splicing works.
So basically...
It has to have the male zygote.
So basically the author of The Witcher and of 40k is sexist.
Yeah,
they're both sexist.
It's something to do with the X chromosome, because you accelerate the muscle mass. There's got to be that testosterone there.
Ah, okay. But yeah, for some reason, I can't remember why, or if it's explained, they can only have males as witches. So they take all these boys, usually orphans or kids that have been abandoned. They basically infuse them with, I think, monster DNA and a splice full of potions and magic to try and boost them. Basically like steroids, we'll say.
Like Space Marines, given the gene seed, which enhances their bodies.
Yeah. See, he loves it. He loves talking about it. He's like, Space Marines!
Actually, just look at the similarities. All joking aside, it sounds like they're like proto-Space Marines, except they've got magic and...
yeah, well, this is the thing.
You're creating a guardian, making them stronger, tougher, faster, smarter.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing.
Well, this is the thing.
And they're only boys.
This is the thing. If Space Marine... This is the thing. Even though I wind you up about Space Marines, if it wasn't intended to sell toys... if it wasn't intended to sell toys... Figures, we'll call them then, if that makes you feel better.
Yes.
Figures. Yes. You have to say anime then.
I'll say anime and then... shun.
Okay, so... If it wasn't designed for figures, if it was designed to be a series of books... you'd only have 7 or 10, and it would actually be a well-written story because the authors are quite well renowned. Yeah. Especially the one, I can't remember his name. You told me about him. I did Google him the other day to find out so I can insult you and annoy you. And I read up on him, and he gets really good reviews. He's a quality writer. Yeah. He's well renowned.
Was that Dembski Bowden?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
Did he wrote some of the most popular? There's a trilogy that's like the most popular.
Yeah, the Night Lords trilogy.
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. But anyway, they're really, really well renowned. And if there was meant to be an end, and it wasn't for the purpose of building a larger fan base to bring in people to buy the merchandise, it would be fantastic because it'd have a start, middle, and end, and it'd be really good. And these people are top quality writers that know how to write a great fictional universe. And even though it is very confusing when you explain it to me, it does sound very vast and interesting. And it's the same concept with this. Everyone likes the idea of having powers, so let's write about this awful world full of monsters and creatures, but there's these heroes that nobody likes for some reason. Yeah. They're given these superpowers, and they're the only... This is the awful thing. If you're not a Witcher in this universe, it's awful, because pretty much nothing can kill a lot of these creatures. They're too powerful for one man. Yeah. You have to have an army of men to kill them, or a Witcher. So if you're not a Witcher, it's shit.
So how many men would you argue... I mean, I assume the Witchers are trained to know all the known types of monsters.
Yeah, they are.
As well as like, so this is where you hit them.
Yeah, they're taken as boys. They are given all of the stuff that I just said, the serums, all of that, and that's why their eyes glow and they kind of look like animal eyes because they are experimented onto shit.
Because so they can see in the dark better, presumably.
Yeah,
so they've probably got perfect night vision.
Yeah, they're part monster basically. Yeah. They're like a hybrid. And they're taught basic spells of magic, they're taught swordsmanship, and then a few years later, they're still kids, they take them, if I remember correctly, take them all to a cave, and they make them fight each other.
Right.
Like, to wean out the weak. Yeah. So like, they'll say, right, that's your best mate, you've got to fight him, that's your best mate, you've got to fight him, only one of you can leave the cave.
Wow.
And that's it. So there might be 20 students, and then that's it. You've got 10. 10 people make it to adulthood as a witcher. And these are why they're running out of witches. At this point, there is...
Well, why have them kill each other then?
I know, because you
might as well let them go out and do something.
Because you need the best of the best.
Yeah, but...
So they have...
No, that still makes... If you're running out of witches, and you've got 20... Let's say there might be a couple of weaker ones you think might not make the grade, but 20 guys all on some kind of even-ish footing. There's always the strongest and the weakest, obviously.
Definitely, yeah.
And you say, right, we are running out of witches.
We should probably make more.
We should make more. So... Alright, you fight him, you fight him, you fight him, you fight him. There's only 10 of you leading, get in the cave.
Yeah.
Right, no, what you do is you go, you know what? Let's let them just non-violently spar with each other.
And learn to become better warriors.
Become better warriors. Yeah. And, the strongest will help the weakest.
Yeah.
And they'll become slightly better. And because that, the strongest amongst them will then go, oh, I'm helping someone poorer than me. This is the point of being a witcher. I shouldn't get carried away by my powers.
Yeah.
Etc., etc. And you have more witches, and even if like the poorer ones do die off faster, they might still kill one monster.
Yeah. Well, I'm not.
Maybe they get killed by their second. It's still one less monster, is what I'm trying to say.
It's been a while since I've they don't really cover that in the show. It's been a while since I've played the games. I don't know how strict and how close they are to the books, the games.
Yeah.
I can't remember if all of these kids die, but the ones that lose these fights or whatever. But what I can remember is that they are put into kind of houses or clans.
Right.
These witches. So you got the House of the Wolf. That's why he wears that wolf necklace.
Is there a difference in how they operate?
Yes, they operate differently. They have different ways of being taught, slightly different ways of being experimented on. It's all that sort of stuff. House of the Cat, House of this, House of that. There's lots of different houses.
If the guy, Geralt's got his House of the Wolf insignia on, and he meets up with the House of the
They'll
Pig.
work together reluctantly, but sometimes they will come to blows if the individual don't get on. But they will work together unless if you've been hired to protect a noble, because these kingdoms are all at war. There's a few kingdoms like Nilfgaard. You remember that from
Nilfgaard.
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 You remember,
she was alright. I don't
You remember that in the show, though. The guys in the black armor, they're trying to invade all the other kingdoms. So there are a lot of kingdoms at war. So if you're in charge of, you've been hired and you're Geralt and you've been hired to protect a noble, and another guy's been hired to protect another noble from a different kingdom, you might have to fight each other.
Yeah.
You're working for money. You're not always hunting monsters. You're getting paid.
You gotta live.
Yeah. Once you're trained and you're sent out to hunt these monsters, you're basically just a bandit that walks around getting paid to hunt down monsters. Yeah. You got to eat. So if someone's like, I'll pay you 10 gold to protect me for the week, you're going to do it.
Oh, yeah,
you need to eat.
And
tough times.
You're stronger, faster, a better swordsman than 99% of individual humans.
Yeah, and if they think they're going to be attacked by monsters...
Yeah.
Often they tend not to kill humans if they can help it. They do kill humans, don't get me wrong, but...
I saw that in the show.
Yeah, if they can walk away from an altercation... Don't get me wrong, some witches are a bit more aggressive than others, but a lot will try and walk away from an altercation rather than pulling a sword. If someone pulls a sword on them, they're happy to cut them down.
Yeah.
But they try to stay away from the violence, because they don't want to bring attention to themselves, because a lot of people hate them already.
Yeah, and also that's kind of their job to protect these people, whether they like them or not.
Exactly, yeah. Well, they're treated like a monster, scum of society. Even though they help protect it and they're like really strong, they are treated that way, and they already get hated enough when they go into towns. They don't want to be at the point where they can't walk into town.
Yeah.
So they avoid. Sometimes someone might punch them in a bar. They'll just take the punch because they don't want to not be able to go into that town again, because they need to get paid. They need money. They need jobs.
Yeah.
So they take a lot of shit.
So in all fairness, being a witch is a bit shit.
Well, I can't remember why, but in the games, and it implies it in the series as well, but definitely in the games, and I think in the books, but it's a dying art. I don't think they're making witches anymore in the current timeline.
Right. So they probably think that, there's not that many monsters left there.
But there's a crap ton of monsters. That's the problem. There's a ton of wars, and there's loads of monsters still around.
Yeah. Maybe they just considered it unethical.
Yeah, I'd imagine. Well, taking children's probably pretty unethical, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Even if they're abandoned.
It's not like they're volunteers, is it?
No. I don't think they're making any new witches, and there's not a lot of witches left. A lot of them have died from hunting down monsters, fighting other witches, fighting in wars, being attacked, cursed.
You'd think they'd have a code that says don't kill each other.
I think
once you're qualified.
I think they have a code where they don't cross. They kind of treat themselves as like, even though they're in different houses, kind of like brothers, sort of.
Cousins.
So, yeah, cousins. They're like, I won't cross swords with you unless you give me a reason to.
Yeah.
Like if you try and attack me first, or if you're
Trying to diddle me on the money.
Yeah, or if maybe there's a quest in the one game where this guy's kind of a rogue witcher and he assassinates a noble.
Right.
And you have to track him down and you basically tell him to give up and he won't, so you have to kill him.
Yeah.
Whereas you probably would have took him in.
Yeah.
But
If he'd have given up.
Yeah. In the game, I think it gives you the choice when you defeat him to kill him or to still take him in. But you have the option then because you cross swords. So it's almost like the only thing that's any good in that world is a witcher or a noble that has a massive army.
Yeah.
So it's not a nice place to live.
And
There's tons of monsters and curses.
Like you say, your average peasant living in his enclosed village
probably doesn't live very long.
Because he's either going to get raped by a giant monster and eaten.
Yeah.
Something from a fucking nightmare, like that first fucking thing in the show. I've seen the first few episodes of it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alerts. He fights that fucking spider fucking thing with a man's head on it. You're like, fuck, imagine getting fucking that romping into town.
And that's the thing, Geralt is like one of the strongest witches in the world. He's one of the most famous in the world, in that country. And there's some things he can't beat on his own.
Yeah.
So, and it makes you think, well, if he can't beat it on its own, what are we going to do?
That's it. You need the entire village out.
Yeah.
But that thing romps into town while you're all asleep and starts fucking destroying the place. What can you do?
This guy could probably beat like 100 armed men on his own. Geralt could probably beat 100 armed men on his own. And he's like...
one after the other, or 2 or 3 at a time?
Probably 2 or 3. Well, you're only going to have a certain amount of men that can kind of surround him, and he can fight for a long time. They've got a sort of healing factor, I think, and they can also... They have, like, monster-level stamina. They know magic. It doesn't really show you in the show. He only uses one magic ability. But in the games and I think in the books as well, he knows, like, 10 or 11 spells. So there is a bit actually. Spoiler for you as well, because you've not seen this, where I'm pretty sure he uses one of the other spells and he blows up a guy's head.
Nice.
Because the guy's about to cut his head off, and he's like, any last words, and he whispers the spell and it goes bang. So he's got some deadly spells.
Yeah.
He's literally, they teach the bare minimum on spells. It's just the most deadly.
Yeah, because they don't want to become corrupted.
No, they're just literally really. The witches don't have massive amounts of magic. They don't have massive amounts of sort of mana stamina. So it's just powerful, short, close range attacks.
Oh, so like if they are in the shit, it's like a weapon of last resort kind of thing.
In the games, I wouldn't say so. You can use a few spells in a row.
In real life.
In the show, they tend not, because of obviously CGI costs. He tends to just use the air ability where it's like a push.
Yeah.
Like a force push, like Star Wars force push.
No, so they can use the force.
But it's an air push actually. It's an air attack, and in the games he has a fire attack and he has a couple of others. So.
Oh, he'll probably get them later in
Yeah,
season 2.
he probably will. He'll show them. They just don't want to pay the CGI costs. So, but
we have to do 2 dragons, damn it!
Yeah, he can use like a fire attack, and he
knows a bit.
He can use this one where like he can manipulate your decision as well.
Oh, like a foot. So he's basically using the force a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, this guy's drew on a lot of stuff, hasn't he?
He can be like, I need to buy some boots, but I've only got 3 gold, and you those boots are 4 gold, so sell it me for 3. And they'll be like, no, and he'll be like, you'll use this spell, and he'll be like, sell it for 3, and the guy will go, all right, so he can manipulate your choice. Normal
you're not starved to death either, then, are you?
No.
Hey, give me some food. No. Give me some food.
It's a bit
Have all my food. Thank you very much.
Bit unethical though, so Gerald doesn't use it very often.
I'd be using that shit all the time. I'd be the fattest witcher out there.
And you'd be pulling a lot of bitches.
Yeah.
Unethically.
Unethically. Why not?
So yeah, just to sum it up, that's not a great place to live.
I don't want to live in that
unless
universe.
You're a witcher, and the witchers are dying out because they're all getting killed.
Yeah.
So unless you're Gerald.
So you've got a choice of being like a witcher and getting horribly eaten by a monster eventually, probably, or killed by another witcher if you're on opposing sides, or being one of the human soldiers who are trying to defend the kingdom against bad guy
monsters
from Nilfgaard
monsters.
Or you could be one of the common soldier of Nilfgaard. Either way.
Or getting killed by monsters.
Or you're getting eaten by monsters in your sleep.
There's literally a bit
and raped by monsters.
There's literally a bit in the 3rd game where like you start the game and you're on horseback and you go like past this bit and there's like a farmer with his like crate and his horse. Not a crate, sorry. What do they call it? Carriage and a horse. Or
cart.
Whatever. Cart, yeah. And this falcon just flies down and picks it. It's not a falcon, sorry, it's a griffin.
Yeah.
He flies down and picks him up and flies off.
Oh man!
Just fucking kills him. And then he jumps down, and he jumps down. You've got to fight this griffin or some shit. You're like, what's going on?
What a shit place to live.
It is a shit place to live, but unless you are Geralt, because if you're Geralt, then you can hook up with a bunch of witches.
Yeah, but even you know you're gonna die one day.
Yeah, but he's banging like in the games. He's banging like Triss, who's like the ginger witch. Do you remember?
Yeah.
You don't know if she was introduced.
I don't know. Yeah.
But
No idea.
Yennefer, which she was introduced.
Oh, Yennefer.
They're like the hottest witches in like the whole kingdom. He only goes for like the top tier
That's it. Well,
women. He likes
well,
himself.
it's Henry Cavill, who's a massive Warhammer fan.
He likes himself an attractive woman, doesn't he?
It's Henry Cavill, who's a Warhammer fan.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Still a nerd though, isn't he?
Nah.
He's a massive nerd.
He's alright.
He was building the gaming. I watched him the other day building a gaming PC.
Did you?
I was like, this guy is such a nerd.
You spent time out of your busy day
Like 2
watching
minutes.
Henry Cavill paint a model.
Like 2 minutes, he's like, no, he's not painting a model. He's building a gaming PC.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I
These are gaming piece then. Sorry.
No.
That's what they are. They're gaming pieces.
Gaming pieces.
Gaming pieces.
They're also known as toys. But yeah, because he paints the Warhammer stuff, doesn't
Yes.
he? Yeah, he's a massive nerd, but there's nothing wrong with that. Embrace your nerdhood.
Nerd! Anyway, right, so Witcher, shit, not on the list.
No, definitely not.
Right. Westeros.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones. We'll say Westeros. The bit where Daenerys is prior to her invasion is called Easteros.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like the whole sort of Game of Thrones world, isn't it?
Yeah.
But you're probably gonna like.
We'll focus on Westeros.
Yeah.
I mean, although Esteros, there's slavery, so that ain't great.
No.
Don't want to live there unless I'm rich.
It gets abolished after a while, but then you'll
only
get
because
killed.
the
if you-
Mother of Dragons literally rocks up and conquers your city.
Yeah,
And you might die in the invasion. She's torching shit with dragons.
yeah, not good.
No.
Not ideal. And the White Walkers as well, if you live in Westeros.
We'll focus on Westeros because let's face it, Easteros is shit. It's all desert and the slavery.
Yeah, it's not a great place to live.
Yeah.
And there's dragons for a
And you
long
might get-
time.
And you might get taken off from your parents, castrated and forced to become an unsullied.
Yeah, that's not good, is it?
That's not a good day out.
No. Poor Grey Worm.
I know.
Why'd they call him Grey Worm? That's sad.
Oh, they all chose names.
Yeah.
They all got given random names and they were all like demeaning.
Ah, okay.
So there'd be like sewer rat,
Okay.
grey worm, cockroach. Yeah.
But he quite liked being called Grey Worm.
They used to rotate names.
Yeah.
They would draw a new name and it was to break them down further. And because
okay.
Unsullied aren't individuals, they're a collective mass. That's the
okay.
teamwork, that's the brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's their way of building unit cohesion, is to completely destroy these guys and then just turn them into automatons for killing
And take their dicks.
and take their dicks. Or take their balls, probably.
It's a pretty sad life being an Unsullied. I remember watching the one guy, and he goes to like a whorehouse, and he just gets hugged for like 10 minutes because he just hasn't been held his entire life. And I watched that, and I thought, oh man, that guy's had a shitty life. He just wants a hug.
Yeah.
And then someone comes in and slits his throat, and I'm like,
I
what?
think she slits his throat.
Someone does, yeah.
I think she does.
Yeah.
And then she runs down the street going, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, that's it. I mean, he's like, just pretend to be my mum for a bit and just hug me and comfort me like my mum used to before I was taken away, turned into a killing machine, and had my nuts cut off.
Basically, we don't even need to cover that.
No.
Do we? Because nobody wants to live there. People that live there are forced to live there.
Yeah, well, they're slaves.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I don't. So Westeros. There's
Yeah.
no slavery in Westeros.
Well, there was,
There was.
but then it
was
got
en-
abolished.
Yes. So we are at a certain level of
Yeah.
thinking.
Because that's why one of my favourite characters got kicked out.
Oh, Mormons.
Yep.
Oh, you like Jorah, do you? You're
Yeah,
a
we were
Jorah
talking
boy.
about him the other
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
remember?
I mean, yes, he is an hard bastard.
Because we were talking about who'd win in a fight, weren't we? Between Jorah. Who did you say?
Oberyn.
No, it was what's that guy's name? The brawler guy.
Oh, Bronn.
Bronn. Yeah,
Bronn,
between him
Bronn.
and Bronn.
Yeah.
It was between him and Bronn. You thought it was Bronn.
Yes, because of his sneakiness.
Yeah, you think he'd probably beat most people in a fight just because he's resourceful.
Yeah.
Which I can agree with that, to be
And
fair.
he can probably argue as a compromise
Yeah,
that Jorah would give Bronn like a few minutes of difficulty
yeah,
because they're both using long swords.
Yeah.
They're both kind of trained the same, although Bronn's faster because younger.
yeah.
Faster.
He's just faster
He relies
anyway.
on speed.
He's faster
but
anyway.
he's quick as fuck with
yeah.
the long sword.
He's pretty lean as well,
Yeah.
isn't he? So he's quite fast.
Yeah, but he would. Jorah will give him to for a few minutes, and then I think that Bronn will pick his spot.
Yeah.
Use that knife he keeps sheathed on his back.
Stab him.
And just like, I don't know, either get under the armour or go for the throat or something, and it'll be nothing Jorah could do.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, it was just a bit of unconventionalness in the style and being faster.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I'd probably agree with you. To be fair, Jorah is he can fight. He can fight dirty if he needs to.
Oh yeah. He's a knight. They can all fight dirty.
And on a battlefield, he is.
On a battlefield, he wins.
Yeah, he's extremely hard to beat. If he's full armor, shield.
Yeah.
You know, that guy was like a walking tank on the final sort of episode.
Yeah, he got his proper armor out, didn't she? Gave him some. Did she give him that?
I don't know, but he was a one-man wrecking machine, wasn't he?
Saved her.
Yeah,
and he came back from Grayscale.
Yeah, but I give it you. In a duel, he probably would lose.
In a duel, he'd lose.
In an unhonourable duel.
Yeah, on a battlefield, my money would be on Mormont.
But to be fair, when you brought up Oberyn is probably my favourite character.
He's mine.
Other than maybe Tyrion.
I like Tyrion, but he just, the last couple of seasons kind of dropped it.
He did a little bit. But when it comes to Oberyn, I don't think anyone could beat him in a fight. It's just his arrogance.
No, think about it. He literally swanned in wearing his fucking nice little fancy coloured robes.
Yeah.
Bit of a toga thing going on too.
Yeah.
Right? Swans in. Oh, where is your prince? Oh, he's been here a day. He's been in the brothel, and he's like, we'll have her.
Yeah.
We'll have her. What are you doing? And he'll fuck anything. He's all about but he keeps himself in shape. His vice is wine, which I suppose isn't that fattening.
He's a badass as well. He's only like 5'8", 5'10", and like 70 kilos, but he's fast and he's strong for his size.
He's got a spear is a great strength amplifier, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's because you're using both hands.
Yeah.
And it's got that. He's also did poison his blade against the mountain, which technically he shouldn't have done.
No.
But he did. He hamstrung him.
He
had him.
He could have won.
In the books, he has him. He's hamstrung him. The mountain's on his knees. He pushes him over.
It's arrogance. It's always arrogance with him.
He went there for one reason: find out my sister's killer.
Yeah.
Right. Admit you did it.
Yeah.
Tell me he told you. Tell me Tywin Lannister told you to kill my sister. That was, that was his whole reason for being there. It's almost like he, in a way, outplayed Tyrion to get himself into that position.
His problem is just pure arrogance. He thought because he's such a skilled warrior. I'd argue at that time, obviously you've read the books and I haven't, but in the show at that time, he's probably the most skilled warrior in Westeros. The Mountain isn't a skilled warrior.
He's just fucking big.
He's just a big, he's
strong dude.
He's in the top 10, but not because he's skilled, but because he's just an unstoppable force.
That's it. I mean, if you put them both on the battlefield, if you're the Mountain in the battlefield, he's on foot.
Yeah.
And he could get gang stabbed.
Yeah.
By like 10 dudes on the battlefield, hold him down and stab him repeatedly. He's down. Doesn't matter. Oberyn could hold off them 10 dudes and get the fuck out of there because he's got that spear, he's got the length, he's got the quickness.
He's talented.
He's doing somersaults for fuck's sake. He's awesome.
Very talented.
But to get back to our original point, would you want to live there? Not a fucking chance.
No. The Seven Kingdoms, isn't there? No matter how much they say they're united, they are not.
I'd live in
constant war. Yes.
I'd live in Dorne.
If you had to choose, I would live in Dorne as well.
I mean, everyone's more open sexually.
The weather's better.
Yeah. They tend to stay out of all the other petty squabbles.
Yeah.
They maintain a really strong army. They've got the best navy. They haven't got the best navy, but they've got a decent navy.
Talented warriors. They train everyone because everyone's treated equally. Yeah. Even bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Men, you want to be a man love, go and have it. You want to be a woman love, go and have it.
Equality. Women are treated equally. They're trained to be warriors.
Yeah, women can rule.
Yeah.
In Dorne.
Yeah, they are a very sort of upscaled society, aren't they?
So I'd go for that.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if we're talking sort of when Robert was in charge. If he started out when he was in charge, and for the next sort of 30 years living in Highgarden, it's very nice and fancy and everything. Yeah. Everyone's very rich. It'd be a nice place to live till everything goes down or the shit goes down.
Yeah.
Because then obviously there's the war and it gets invaded and everything.
I always think of Highgarden as like a Camelot.
Yeah,
shining white castles and everyone's in the proper plate armor and it's all about the jousting and.
It's a little bit pretentious of a place to live.
Yes.
But it would be a lovely place for the sights. And
but it's like it's called Highgarden because it's literally the garden of Westeros. Yeah. It feeds the entire country and that's why they're so rich. It's the best farmland.
It's beautiful, it's rich, the sites are great, there's plenty of food, there's an abundance of food, everyone's quite wealthy there. So it would be nice for that. It would be a refined life.
Yeah. And because everyone's fairly wealthy, if you're a farmer, you're probably fairly wealthy.
Yeah.
So, and if you're working on, the more money there is.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally feeds Westeros High Garden, so...
It's not a bad place to live.
It seems quite nice. The weather's obviously better, and
that would be my second choice if we're talking when Robert's just in power and everything's settled,
or even during the Targaryen times when there was actually periods of peace.
Yeah.
You know, if we're at peace, High Garden or Dawn.
Yeah.
Probably Dawn.
Yeah.
But High Garden a close second. The North, not a fucking chance.
Who wants to live in? Who chooses to live in the North?
Who goes? Oh, I love the Starks and my favourite house. Would you live in the North? Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, it's cold, it's horrible. Yeah. There's always war, there's always wildlings sneaking in.
Wildlings sneaking in, burning your village down, killing your parents.
Yep.
Right? And then you've got them trying to get over the wall. The Night's Watch are trotting around. They go into town, who knows what they do.
They're a bit rapey.
They can be a bit rapey.
Because they're not supposed to have sex, but they do. They go into there, do whatever they want. They're all ex-criminals that are allowed to walk around whenever they feel like
they ain't some moral police force,
the only thing that was stopping them from walking in and doing whatever they want whenever they want was Ned. When he was fucking gone, they were going into town and doing whatever they want.
That's it.
Banging hookers and intimidating the townspeople.
Exactly, and then they got to that dude's cabin and fucking
and
I suppose, and the other thing is, if you do get caught because you're starving somewhere in the Seven Kingdoms, and they say, hey, you got a choice. It's you can get hung, or you can join the Night's Watch. You got the very edge of the known earth.
Yeah. Stand
on an ice wall.
Yeah.
I mean, all right. The uniform's pretty sweet.
It is awesome.
It's a pretty sweet uniform.
Yeah.
But, and basically live like a warrior monk.
Yeah, it's not an ideal life, is it?
In the freezing fucking cold every day.
But that's your choice. Either that or you run in and try and become a wildling, but they know their own.
Yeah.
They can sense it, they can smell it.
And they ain't going to take too kindly to deserters of an organisation that's been killing their
farmers. The only reason why they take kindly to take kindly to John is because he starts banging one of them.
Yeah.
He starts banging one of the wildlings. What was her name?
Egret.
Yeah, and that's the only reason. And they weren't very happy at that at the beginning.
Nah, but she had a bit of a thing for him.
Over time, they became... Well, yeah, they got married in real life, didn't they?
They did.
Yeah, wow. But yeah, over time, they learn to love John, don't they? But to begin with, they hate him. They hate him. So it's not like you can run off and join the wildlings. No. Not like you'd want to.
Also, don't want to be a wildling.
No, because it's freezing cold.
Yeah, and I might get killed by some dude just because I look at him funny.
And the White Walkers.
Yeah. And in the books, there's fucking ice spiders.
Yeah.
They're like fucking 8 foot fucking long, and then the White Walkers ride them into battle.
Yeah,
who the fuck wants that?
They just used horses because they were too cheap on the show.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh, we're going to see the ice spiders," and it was like, "Oh no, we didn't."
Nope. Didn't see a lot, did we? That we should have really. They were a bit lazy with the giants as well. They only gave us like 2 giants.
Yeah,
that was a bit shit.
It was a shame with the finale of that. It was a shame.
They ruined that. That should have been spread over 2 or 3 more seasons.
Yeah, they rushed it, and I know it costs a lot. It costs a lot of money to.
I can understand
to keep this massive. I mean, a massive.
Yeah, and each year they were asking for more money, rightly so, because they were getting more famous every year. So I get it. But if you can only afford 6 episodes instead of 8 or 10, do the 6 and then give us another 6 next year.
Yeah.
Everyone's watching it. It's making a ton of money. Keep the franchise going. And I know some of the actors, they were starting to get more job roles, so it's getting harder.
They wanted to do a bit more freedom because it takes like 6 months to fucking film Game of Thrones.
Yeah, so have less scenes with them, flesh out the other characters, finish their stories.
Yeah, put new characters in if you have to, bring someone new in.
Yeah, finish their arcs and then come back to him when he's not so busy.
It could have been done better. It could have, yeah. And it's a shame because up to season, I would argue, I think 4 was the first 4 are the best.
Yeah. To be fair, the later seasons, some of them had some really good episodes.
5 is the weakest for me.
The final one's the weakest.
No, 5.
Oh, for me, it's the last one.
Oh no, 5 is the weakest to me. I think it's a weak season.
Yeah.
But it's one of the weaker books where not much happens.
Yeah.
So I kind of understand.
The final season's the weakest for me.
I didn't mind the final season really.
I like the first few episodes
until the end, and that was just like, that's the end.
Yeah. Jon Snow is a terrible leader in the military.
Don't know that. I'm writing that down
because we need to do a whole podcast.
We need to do a whole podcast.
How terrible
how Jon Snow
Yeah.
is the worst military leader in Westeros.
Of all time, in any history,
Yes.
even fantasy history or real history.
We'll have like a Game of Thrones month or something.
Oh, we just talk about Game of Thrones topics.
And we'll just pick, but we won't go through like a review of what's happened and every single fucking plot line.
Our favourite stuff from the show.
We'll just like criticise the shit out of it.
Yeah.
No, we won't criticise, because I love that show.
It is a great show. It was a little bit weak, I agree with you, near the end of the last sort of couple of seasons. The first couple of episodes were pretty good on the last season, but then it kind of went rocky and shaky, and then they rushed the ending. And it's just no one was going to be happy with the ending, whatever ending we got. But we kind of got the worst ending that we could have got.
Yeah,
it's
this is it.
Nobody cares about Bran.
No,
you could have written him out 3 seasons ago.
He sat out for a season.
Yeah,
he did nothing. I'd forgotten he was there.
Yeah, you could have wrote him out. He became king. He won the game.
I know. A spoiler alert.
If you've not seen Game of Thrones at this point, it was the
if you haven't heard about the outrage, then
it was the biggest show on the planet for a long time.
I mean, fucking hell, it was just like, you know what? So, but once Bran's dead, like, I don't know, what was the fucking blacksmith boy's name? Robert Baratheon's bastard.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, he might go, well, hang on. Who's going to be king next? Oh, the Lords of Westeros at the side. Well, boys, I am the last king's son.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it should be me.
And the war will start again.
Yeah,
but Bran won't die, will he? That's the whole theory, isn't it? That Bran didn't win the Game of Thrones. The kind of the three-eyed raven, that sort of supernatural entity that kind of hollowed out Bran as like a human core.
So basically Westeros is being ruled by a fucking demon thing.
Yeah, by an unknown entity that wasn't explained what it is. Is it explained in the book what it is?
Nah.
It's been there since the beginning of time, sort of entity. It's basically a god, isn't it? It's one of the
certainly a demon.
I would presume it's one of the old gods.
Maybe.
It's one of the old gods.
It's got to be something, hasn't it?
Yeah. But that's in charge, and he won't die, will he? He'll live forever because the last one lived for like 1,000. Like, how old was the last three-eyed raven?
Well, if he hadn't been killed by the Night King, he'd still be around then, wouldn't he? He'd been around for thousands of years.
Because whatever that entity is was keeping him alive. So now it's in Bran. So Bran will probably rule for thousands of years.
Bran the Broken.
Yeah, having a shitty, boring, like,
the shittest, most boring character in the entire fucking thing.
And he won the game. Well, Sansa won a little bit.
Yeah, she got to be king. The thing is, if you're like,
I'm going to
be queen of the north, you're like, fuck you, bitch.
Well, you weren't going to argue with your older sister, were you?
Oh, yeah, fuck you, bitch. I'm the king.
She'll just give you a nuggie.
I've got 6 kingdoms here. You've got 1. I don't want to invade you, but I will. Fuck you. You'll be Lord Protector of the North, like Dad was, or you'll be nothing.
I think what the idea is behind that is it's a little bit of a nod to sort of say that there's a tiny slither of Bran left and he's letting his sister have what she wants because he wants one member of his family to be happy, even though he's pretty much hollowed out and gone.
Although you could argue that the North like literally suffered more than any other kingdom.
They were always going to.
I mean, they were just ravaged by White Walkers.
They were ravaged by people.
And then I mean, let's face it, alright, so Ned dies and then Robb leads his rebellion, doesn't he? Robb leads his invasion of the
Spoiler, they get wiped out.
So he takes an army of 20,000 with him.
Yeah.
Right? How many of them come back? Because they were killed at the Red Wedding by the forces of the what's-his-face.
Yeah, all the leaders would have, but I'd imagine some of them would have escaped.
Some of them might have got back.
Yeah.
Not many. I bet 5,000 came home out of the 20.
Yeah.
After battle and disease.
Well, yeah,
we saw people being injured.
We saw which of them survived because they went back to that castle with the black fish guy.
No, those are the Riverland forces.
The black fish. Didn't he escape? So wouldn't he have just assimilated them men into his army?
Probably.
Because they would have escaped with him.
So the
probably.
North is like completely stripped of fucking manpower.
Yep.
So who's fighting for you against the undead? Men and boys?
Mostly wild.
Old men and boys and wildlings and the other 3 kingdoms of
somehow they managed to find massive armies to fight this final war.
And the Unsullied, of course.
Yeah.
And that 100,000 Dothraki they sent off to die for some reason. Doesn't matter.
Terrible military commander. Terrible. Catapults on the floor.
You know, we'll get Mike in for that one. Me and him fucking go to town on
Catapults on the floor.
I know.
Right at the front.
I know. Right. I don't want to live in Westeros.
I don't want to live there.
Apart from Dawn.
Unless we're living in Dawn or Highgarden.
Highgarden.
Highgarden in times of peace. Dawn, pretty much most of the time.
Most of the time.
It doesn't get affected that much by the war, does it? Because it's so far away.
Yeah, because even the Dawn doesn't even send soldiers to aid Joffrey.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because you know the map and stuff better than me. But isn't it surrounded by mountains as well?
Yeah, it's like if you think of Westeros is a little bit like a map of Britain without.
Yeah.
But you cut off Scotland and that's the north.
Yeah.
Dawn is like Cornwall, Devon, but obviously deserty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like sort of if you draw a line across from the bottom of Wales straight across the Thames Estuary, that's kind of Dawn.
Yeah.
So there's a big chunk of
it's surrounded by like
oceans, and that little bit, the bit we can get through via land, is mountainous. The only kingdom to have actually held off the Targaryens.
Oh, okay.
Because they got a warfare in the mountains.
Oh, okay.
The dragons were no use in the mountains because they can't be flown.
That's why they're called the princes. They're the only ones called the princes, aren't they? Prince of Dawn.
Yeah.
Because they never actually bent the knee properly, did they?
They married into the Targaryens.
Yes.
Oberyn's sister was married to a Targaryen, but they married him. The Targaryens went, look, all right, we can't conquer you. So how about we incorporate you into the Seven Kingdoms with through marriage?
Yeah.
With an alliance. You're like, in name, you're one of them.
Yeah.
But, you're pretty independent and you do what you want. Just, pay your tithe to us.
So I'll be the king, you be the prince.
Exactly.
So you're in line for the throne.
And remember that should Oberyn's sister have lived, then princes of Dornish blood would have taken over the Seven Kingdoms. Yeah. So that was the ultimate aim then. Win-win for them,
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Basically, that's a pretty safe to play. Even with the White Walkers, it's going to take a while for them to get there.
That's true.
Because it's going to stay warm for a long time. It's going to be hard for them to invade and kill.
But I don't know if Dawn gets winter.
I would imagine, well, when they say winter is coming, I would imagine Dawn would be affected by some sort of winter.
Yeah, but the least winter. I mean, we're like a Cyprus winter where it's 20 degrees.
Yeah, so they might have got a little bit of snow, but it would have been pretty warm still.
Snow on the mountains, maybe.
I'd imagine the White Walkers would have been able to get there in their sort of winter.
Oh, they bring the winter, don't they?
That's what I mean, they bring the winter. But this is the annoying thing, like, they would be able to hold the White Walkers back easily if there was only a few White Walkers. But if the White Walkers get there, that means they've conquered the entire Westeros. So they've got like millions of White Walker army.
Yeah.
So Dawn isn't going to be able to stop them then.
I seem to remember, because I've got the Game of Thrones artwork book, art history book.
Yeah.
Because I'm a nerd.
Nerd! See, embrace it, you're a nerd. Love it. Love it. Love being a nerd.
I'm sure the population of Westeros is something like 6 million.
Yeah, so you don't want like 4 million zombies rocking up to Dawn and being like, shit. And we've got like 10,000 men.
The north is like the least populated out of all of them. There's like 600,000 people live there.
Yeah, but by the time they've got to like Highgarden and stuff, you're fucked. They've got a giant undead army. They turn up with a giant undead army.
And they bring, and everyone they've killed.
All those White Walkers that get attacked. There's like millions of White Walkers that get, not White Walkers, wildlings that get wiped out and turned into that before the war even starts, before that wall goes down.
That's it.
It's crazy.
I don't want to live there.
No.
It's not for me.
No. It's nearly as bad, if not as bad, as the Witcher world. It is worse than the Witcher world, actually, because you've got friggin'
constant war, usually. I mean, you might get 30 years of peace at a time.
Yeah.
But someone's always fighting fucking somebody, or there's bandits. And all of a sudden your farming village is set on fire by bandits.
And you're waiting for this prophecy of an unending doom to happen. You know this winter's coming, this great winter that's going to end all winters.
Because you've had the longest summer ever. Been like 12 years of summer.
And it's been prophesied that with a big summer you get a big winter. And with a big winter, perfect time for those White Walkers to come back after a long, long time.
That's it. So,
not a good place to live.
I ain't living there.
Nope, definitely not.
Alright. Let's just, I'm going for future armor.
So we have a winner, Well, the Toon place is a good place for Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Nice place to live, but not my favourite. What else is on the good one list?
Star Trek.
Star Trek's fun, but a little bit boring. Unless you're a captain.
I don't know, even just being a citizen, I mean, everything you want is taken care of. It's
Yeah.
like space communism.
Yeah.
Except it's like good communism
If
where
you like-
actually the system does work.
Yeah, okay, if you like an easy life, it's good, yeah. But it's not my favourite.
I'm 50-50 on Harry Potter for the simple fact someone's going to show up every 20 years and try and kill everybody.
Dark Lords is
Yeah.
a big no-no. Same reason with the Star Trek, actually, the Borg. That'd put me off, the
Yeah,
Borg.
Underworld, again, I don't really... I mean...
A 1,000 years of war.
Yeah.
No.
Right. Hero Academia is a big win.
I'd love to live there, yeah.
'Cause, I mean, that's not even I'm going to go and eat some fucking shitty fruit. I can just go,
You get born with the power.
born with a power, and then maybe if it's good enough, I can complement some really hot heroes.
You can get a hot
power,
sidekick, or you
yeah.
could be her sidekick.
Yeah, whatever.
Her arm candy.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet place to
And
live.
if I'm not, then I'm just like trying around just being me. But
Me.
of course, the danger is if I live in a major
With probably
city.
still a power, just a shit power.
Well, even 10%. If I'm one of the 10%,
It could be a
I'll probably get
conven-
some kind of preferential treatment because I haven't got any
Yeah.
quirks.
Or you'd have a convenient low-level power like, I want my drink, and just levitate it to you.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, so you
Open
don't
the
even-
fridge door, bring me a beer. That kind of thing, yeah.
Or you just might be able to send like messages to people with your mind. So you're like, pick up beer, and your friend will go pick up some beer.
That's true.
That'd be good for me. You could be like, pick up beer on your way home, rather than texting me.
Yeah.
You don't even need to pick up your phone.
You do need to pick me up some beer later, though.
I know, yeah.
All right, I'm down for that.
Yeah, that'd be an awesome place to live.
Roger Rabbit.
Good place to live. Awesome again.
Don't really see an issue.
Except for the evil guy
Well, he only.
who's trying to kill Toons, but other than him,
Yeah.
great place to live.
Futurama.
Awesome place to live.
Alien Invasions.
Yeah, that's an off put, isn't it?
Yeah.
There should be noted in My Hero Academia that there is a league
Yeah.
of villains that are
But that's what I mean. If,
about to pop
if
up.
I lived in a major city,
Yeah,
I might get killed by a hero battle.
but if you've got a pie, you can just get away, can you?
Yeah. It's true.
Depends
If I'm
if
not, if I'm just like a 10%er working at a coffee shop,
You would probably.
and like some dude they could have Superman just flies through my window after being punched by the Hulk
Yeah.
and just clears me out, I'm gonna be really annoyed.
Well, like I said, up till recently, the heroes are pretty on top of the villains, so
Yeah, okay.
you ain't really getting many top end villain battles that go on for long periods of time. It's like
okay.
one villain goes on a rampage and 3 or 4 high end heroes are coming up and taking them out in like 10 seconds. So it's a pretty safe place to live.
Alright,
Up
okay.
till recently,
Yeah.
it's about to change.
Alright. One Piece, I don't fancy living under any kind of dictatorship.
Yeah, well, you could become a pirate.
Well, yeah, but I'm still living under a dictatorship. It's just a pirate dictatorship. or whatever.
my favourite drink is rum, so drinking rum, being a pirate, and having powers all sounds awesome to me, so I'm in 100% for that.
I'm not.
I want to be a pirate warlord.
No, I'm going. If I want comfort of life, then I'll take
Futurama.
Futurama or Star Trek.
Yeah.
Personally.
Futurama I'd live in. Star Trek I'd live in, but it's not my favourite. It just seems a bit boring.
No,
It's like
there's no money.
the
It's like you got a
society is-
replicator in your house, and
the
you just go.
society's advanced so much that it's like it's all politics. That's all anyone talks about is politics because they're also bored and
But
bored.
then you can go and join Starfleet.
For if you're a warmonger.
No, because it's an exploration vessel.
Yeah.
But
I
even if
guess.
you're not qualified, it's like, well, what's the lowest rank in Starfleet? It's probably like one of the security guys, the red shirts.
There'll be someone downstairs in a year working on the craft.
You know, even like the most unskilled guy is probably the fucking one of the security guards.
Yeah.
And you just get to be a cop in space.
Space cop.
Space cop.
Yeah.
But like a communist space cop, a nice communist space cop.
I'd live there, but it wouldn't be one of my favourite places to live. My number 1 would be My Hero Academia. My number 2 would be One Piece. My number 3 would be Futurama, and then probably Roger Rabbit. Then Star Trek.
24th century
Then Harry
space
Potter.
communism, Star Trek. Then Futurama, then Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
Hero Academia is the 4th.
Yeah.
Because One Piece doesn't interest me.
You don't want to be a pirate.
I would, but I don't want all these powers, man. I
You
just
don't,
want to be a
have to,
pirate.
you don't have to fight everyone.
I just want to be a pirate.
Yeah.
I just want to drink rum and not worry about what fruit I'm going to push in my ass.
That's what you could do. You could be a really crap pirate and just get drunk all the time.
Yeah, but I'd get killed very easily by the Marines, wouldn't I?
There's actually like loads of safe zones where pirates can just do exactly that.
Alright.
They can just literally there's islands that are owned by like the Yonko,
Yeah.
the emperors, and you could literally just be a ship pirate and just hang about there getting drunk every day.
Sounds right
That's
to
a
me.
lot of pirates do in the show.
Sounds good to me.
You don't want to be great. You don't have to be.
Yeah, fair enough.
You're like drunken pirate then.
Drunken pirate. All right.
Probably wouldn't be much of a pirate though. No one would want you on their crew.
Doesn't matter. Right, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
So, I've been Ben. Thanks for listening.
I've been Shawn.
Don't drink the Flavour Aid. Don't join a cult.
And don't be a space marine.
Be a space marine.
Definitely.
Be the best space marine you can be.
Definitely don't be a space marine because you end up dead in an endless war.
Everybody ends up dead.
That's true. Wow, that's dark.
And,